describes acts of extreme violence in graphic detail and may include discussions about demonology and the occult, topics that caused widespread panic during the 1980s. This content may not be suitable for children under the age of 50. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. Welcome to the GROGTALK with your hosts, Dan and James.
All right. Dan, we're in. We're welcome live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to GROGTALK. I'm James.
I'm Dan.
Where are we from today, Dan?
Still in the abyss, unfortunately. We are in the 12th layer, which apparently is called 12 trees. Now, how would we know that? Do you think there's a sign?
I think when you enter, yeah, there's. You're now entering the 12 trees.
Only 600 and whatever layers to go.
54 to go.
Tell you, like those signs for whatever it is,
Right.
Cracker Barrel or something.
Yeah, or the ones that say, like Stark Prison here in Florida. Everywhere you go, there's a sign for Perry, Florida, which you have no idea where Perry, Florida is. But so it would have Los Layer 60, well now 52. Orcus's Layer 227, and you'd be like, oh, I'm on the highway of the abyss. Absolutely, yeah, it's like Vegas. Well, that's a good thing too. Hello, everyone on the Grog Empire. So, is there anything notable about the 12th layer of the abyss?
Not much. I mean, other than the fact, of course, it's the abyss. It's what I'm told by the internets is no ruler, and it's a pilgrimage site for demons. So, do you think that means that
a pilgrimage site for demons?
Yes, a pilgrimage site for So does that? So would it be wrong? Which I know is a little bit strange when you're talking about chaotic evil, but so would it be wrong then to try to kill somebody on this site? Should you get sort of immunity? Should we feel safe? Well, maybe not us because we're not a demon, but I guess if you're a demon, and you come here on a pilgrimage, should you? I wonder if the code is, even among chaotic evil, don't kill anybody.
Well, that's a good point. I'm not sure how that would work out. If it's anything like what Conan, where they're the barbarian, where they're going to the temple, right? The pilgrims there. Some of them were thieves trying to get stuff, so I don't know if that would work that way. But I wonder, we could perhaps set up our shop. The identity shop there as like a food cart or something, a demon food cart.
Oh, yes. You're right. We should be, you mean like we're on the lookout for like a place to set up shop?
Right, yeah. I could just imagine like this trail of demons are going towards the unholy place they're going to. Yeah, that seems odd, but.
Do you have Diet Mountain Dew? So all out. Orcus just took the last one.
Yeah, Orcus. Jubilex, he's a big fan.
Jubilex.
Which, by the way, right? I did show you the Jubilex, right, last time.
You did.
Thanks to Tom. That's right. So I'll show it again.
It's fantastic. Yes, it's wonderful.
So there it is. I'll show it to our friends there. And they there's friends there.
Let's just put this into context. So people are fans. What we do leads people to send us demon idols.
Yes, that's right.
That should be our talent show. Demon idol.
Demon idol. Your demon was horrible. That's a horrible demon. That's terrible.
Yes, right. Yeah, Jubilex failed on the talent show. Not the talent portion. He wants world peace. No one bought it.
No one bought it at all. That's right. I wasn't feeling it. No,
it just didn't seem true.
Exactly. Oh, that is good. But does the 12th layer have sand? Because this thing continues to, in the real world, now we have a giant dust storm over us. I mean, what else could happen?
Wait, what?
You haven't been paying attention to the news, or you're just sheltered in your bunker?
No, the news I see is nonstop coronavirus news.
Oh no, we have a giant dust storm from the Sahara Desert, which has now covered the eastern parts of the United States, and that's why the temperatures are hellish here in Central Florida. You know.
So we really are living in the darkest timeline. I mean, when it couldn't get worse, it's a giant dust storm. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, it just keeps giant dust storm. We're not going to have rain for days, and I think the temperature was 97 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 9/5 plus 32. It's a lot. I don't know. It's probably close to 38 or something like that Celsius for our international. Something like that.
This explains why I play Dungeons and Dragons, and hear me out, because I could never do those things in my real life. I would be a terrible adventurer. It's like, can you imagine there's a dust storm coming? Are you serious? What adventurer says that? That would be me. I would just sort of give up and go home. So then again, I'm a gnome illusionist.
Well.
So.
Yeah, that's true. But and I think we're on Discord, by the way, and that's thanks to Josh, who's been doing that for us, who's kind of hosting that, and there's a big community coming up, so that's awesome. So I really appreciate that. The link is in the YouTube, and it'll be on the podcast. And now Dan and I are actually on Discord with the group, so that's pretty cool. So
I feel very hip. I'm not sure why, but I do. I'm not sure what Discord is, but it seemed pretty cool. I was invited onto the GROGTALK Discord, and so I feel pretty hip.
You're with the cool kids. Well, tonight, or for us, for other people it'll be the morning. I'm not sure what time it is. We're having a special event, so let me pitch that right now. Because for our
get ready to test your speed reading skills.
Well, no, I made a different one. So.
Oh, you did.
That's right, folks. Tonight, 7 p.m., we're going to be playing Irillion, right? The Rising of the Dark.
Correct.
I'm pretty excited about it. And actually, we're going to talk a little bit about that's going to be some of our conversation today. How do you get ready for a one-shot? And we've got a lot of experienced DMs on the thing, so I'm interested to hear what they have to say. So, let's do some announcements. GrogCon, unfortunately, because, hey, if you thought it was a disaster in March, now we're in a real disaster. So unfortunately, that has been pushed off. But in the meantime, you can join DMs Brian and Josh, who are online, for virtual D&D. You can play First Edition online. How about that? You can either play in Friday's game with Brian. You can go to our meetup or join our Discord, and Brian has all the information there. Or Josh is starting a West Marches style campaign on the alternate Friday. So, did I get your Oh yes, I did. Thank you. The Chamberlain from Australia wanted to let us know that the slow boat to Australia is here. Arrived at his house, and he received his prize, the bridge that we gave out.
Probably brought him coronavirus.
I hope he disinfected it. I would have.
From Florida? Did it come from Florida?
Yeah, of course, it came from Florida. They
Just what you want.
probably just got it in just in time, because I'm sure if we sent it now, they probably wouldn't accept it at this point. So
That's probably true.
that's right. Ta-da, yes. So David was a winner, and what I want to do is we're a winner too, because guess what I got from the post office? I got Northern coronavirus. So we're going to do an unboxing.
Oh.
Yeah. This is from Angry Dwarf Publications.
You know, there's some risk involved here because he seems very land grabby. He could be making a play
That's right.
for the entire Grog Empire.
He could be just...
Actually, me and him.
Well, this is probably wise why you're in a different location, so we both
Yes.
won't be taken out at the same time. So
That's right. That's right. We should continue this.
that's right.
Even after the coronavirus.
The
I hope Vic knows how to do IT stuff.
Well, I hope so too. He's pretty sharp. I mean, he does that 3D printing. All right, so
It's true.
very well packaged. Thank you. I'm probably going to throw something away I shouldn't, so I got to be careful. He's probably like, hey, that's stuff in there. So, all right, so here's what we've received. We have received the Keep It Blood Red Falls disc,
Oh, very cool.
and this has a PDF, all the maps, generated crowds, and his brawl rules. So that's super cool. Gotta slow it down here. So look at that, PDF, a physical copy of Keep It Blood Red Falls. Put that up there.
Very nice.
Isn't that awesome? We get
Yeah.
one copy of that. We get another copy. Look at that, with another
Oh.
PDF.
Oh.
And we get a third copy. How's that? Yeah, see, I already threw away the good stuff. I knew there was stuff in those things. So
It's a bloody Saturday.
we've got some TSR Wizards printouts.
Oh, those are great. Did you see where he gave one of those? And you may not have because you wise, you're not on Facebook.
No, I'm
you,
not on Facebook.
You let me be that person.
Right.
He gave one to Ernie Gygax because, as you may recall from our interview with Ernie, he mentioned that he's the one that came up with the wizard
Right.
logo idea because they had the lizard man.
Right.
And he sent Ernie one of those little fellas, and Ernie took some pictures of that little fella in certain places, and it was very funny. It made me remember Flat Stanley.
No, but that's
Okay, so Flat Stanley is you cut out this character from a book, Stanley, and you take him on. Kids would take him on vacation. You take pictures of Flat Stanley
okay.
doing also. I think that Ernie should take Flat Wizard.
Flat Wizard. Wouldn't his name?
Different, on.
Yeah, go ahead. Wouldn't his name be
What did
Ernie?
you say?
Shouldn't be Flat Ernie, basically?
Flat Ernie the wizard, and yeah, sure.
Oh, now you're gone again.
And from Vic, take it around, take pictures of it in different locations when you go on vacation.
And last but not least, which is why he was yelling at me, screaming at me on the internet, is miniature groggies with a light. I have to get a die for it. So
Oh, baby groggies.
baby groggies. Yep. I need
I
I need an orange die, correct? Open each. I have to open each of them. Okay. I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
I see the proud father behind you.
That's right. So we have one. We have two. We have three of them. I think, you know what, are they different sizes? I think they are different sizes. So there's a second one. Oh, they're the same. That one's the same size. All right, hold on, I'm sorry. This is compelling stuff. The reason I bring all this up is we're gonna give this away, some of it, to our great patrons. So we supported the Kickstarter. Oh, we also have a blank one, a white one as well. I think I opened it. So I've got 3 grays, 1 white, and I have something else in here. And we also owe him money for, I have to show you this too. So anyway, he hooked us. Oh, that's right. I forgot about this. This is what he wanted. For the GROGTALK set, here we go. I have to paint this. But this, he created the big demon head idol. He had brought us back one when he showed up back in the day, back in October, or when did he come down? December?
December.
Right. So this is the super. Now we have a super big one. I love it.
And that's from Tomb of Horrors, correct?
Correct. Yes. That's the. Hey, it's dark in there. Let's go see what's in there. And you jump in.
So you can stick a gnome in there.
Easily.
Or pretend.
Easily.
Back there, yeah.
Easily, you can stick a gnome in there. Absolutely.
Well, I have a complaint.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if I should bring it up now, maybe later. We should first thank you so much, Vic. And what a great package of.
Look at that. It took a lot of restraint because this came about a week ago, and I've been holding. I'm like, ooh, I want to check out things, and I'm like, nah, I'm supposed to open it during the show. So go ahead.
So yeah, and so thank you, Vic. I mean, who doesn't love a package of demon idols?
Right.
And bloody modules. It's bloody good.
Player character killing modules on PDF, and then because Vic is just awesome, he got us the Barons of Bromstein book. Bromstein. Sorry.
I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember which one it is.
Signed
I think it's Bromstein.
By David Wesley.
That's fantastic.
So thank you, sir, for getting us that. That is super cool. And all the modules should be signed. So we will be setting up for July, part of the Gary Gygax celebration month, a giveaway. Which, again, if you are a patron, before the end of July, let's say, you will be eligible to win exciting prizes, and hopefully it'll be someone in that I can actually send it to. Because when I went to the post office to send the Chamberlain from Australia, like, oh yeah, it's becoming harder to send things out of the country because people don't want to. They take our jobs, but they don't want our coronavirus. Shockingly, so it could be a problem. But yes, we'll be giving away probably we may do 2 giveaways. Like we may do an Angry Dwarf games giveaway of the module and the PDF and a little groggy, and then maybe 2 of those we'll give away. Two separate prizes that people can win. So again, thank you to our patrons who allow that to make that happen. So because and again, I was so happy for Vic because I know he's been working on this for years, and his Kickstarter really was. He made his goal, which is super cool. I don't know people make their goal, so that's fun when people have been successful.
And he got some very nice comments from Ernie Gygax, who had read a draft, I believe, and made some comments, and Ernie was complimenting what a good adventure it is. So that's that's you can't ask for much more than that.
Right, I can't. So and then people will be able to get it. Right in the August doldrums, so they can play their games. All right, cool. And at some point, Vic, we'll get you on. Let's get you on after spell selection, because Vic has an announcement to make. Apparently,
okay.
He has an announcement he wants to make. So.
And we don't even know.
No,
right?
we don't
know. It's like a big reveal.
Right.
We have no idea.
Well, you know how Vic goes. I don't think he sleeps anymore. He just sends a message. Hey, I'm coming on today or tomorrow. I'm like, okay, sure. What time? Whenever. You tell me. Okay. Well, we're starting at this time. Okay. So, all right. I'll be there. First he wanted to make a video, or he wanted to write out an announcement. Then he's just like, I'm just going to come on. I'm like, okay, very good.
Okay. So here's my quick quibble.
Yes.
So finally, you gave back.
It was
my mug.
It was
I love gnomes, right?
Prisoner exchange or something, right?
Yeah. Why did it wasn't talking. It was shaking.
Mm-hmm.
It was frightened. I finally have got it to come around. It's like a lawful good character, barred up in an evil temple. What the hell did you do to my friggin' mug? No, there's still 3 of them left. I got no gnome left behind.
Help
James
us!
is holding
I mean, I'm going to put some tape over their eyes, like they're blindfolded. They're captured.
James is holding up his 3 little gnomes. I mean, little even for gnomes.
They are little. They're tiny gnomes.
They're little gnomes.
I didn't do anything to. I know you're going to find this shocking. I did absolutely nothing to your cup. I couldn't care less about it. I'm glad you enjoy gnomes, but I couldn't care less.
That's right. You didn't give it love. It needs lots of love.
No, there was no love to it. You
didn't put your lips to it?
Nothing. No. None. No, nothing like that. Forget it.
I'm glad. Good. All right.
Let's get to. So we talked about the guild. So I think we're ready for random encounter. So for those who were here last time, it was as epic as you could make it. We had Erdlin, right?
Yes.
Facing the Tarask in the underground mole rat abyss. He realizes there's really not much he can do against the Tarask. So then he does divine intervention and brings in Valprax, correct?
Vaprak,
yeah.
Right.
Valprax, that sounds like some kind of medication or something. Having trouble with Tarasks? Have you talked to your doctor about Valprax?
Vaprak is unpredictable.
That's right. Side effects include
being eaten.
That's right. So, yes. So then because I didn't want to spend 3 hours on this, we had stuff to do. I basically said they went to the prime material plane and ate whatever they wanted to. Which, when we talked about the Tarask the first time, we said, wouldn't it be great for them to go together and destroy whatever?
Yeah, they're like best buds.
Right, they should. They have a lot in common. On the unique creature Tinder, they would swipe the right way, I think. They would like each other. They have common themes.
I don't know anything about Tinder. I just know about Discord. But and then they went and ate the gnome village. Not the gnome village. Well, the village where, from the gnome fighter illusion.
Right.
There's an end
That's
to.
right. The fitting end to that. So we need 2 new creatures today.
Okay. Alrighty. So, on the Dorso roll, I've rolled a 5. I believe that's Monster Manual 2.
That is correct. Monster Manual 2.
And I'm going to roll it again just to know. Okay, so we can do it. See, I'm efficient. It's Monster Manual 2 again. I rolled a 6. So we can just do them both from
so we're in
Monster
the
Manual
2. Yep.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. Where's my Monster Manual 2? I don't have it. I threw it out. Do you want me to go get my Monster Manual 2, or do you want to grab the Monster Manual 2?
I can grab
You grab the Monster Manual 2. And then if it's a Monster Manual 2 monster, though, of course I'm going to have to.
We'll have to worry about that. You'll have to get it then. So.
It's nearby. I could just dash up those stairs.
Yeah, but every time you leave, something happens. A cat comes by, or
This was our highest ratings.
Fine, go get the book if you want.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, Grizzly, come here.
This is what happens. It's very compelling stuff. Let's see, what time is this at? We've spent 30 minutes talking about this. 30 minutes 34. Dan leaves. So I have to keep track of all this so I can edit it out of the podcast. Dan leaves. Compelling stuff. So, by the way, I did post on Discord about our tournament. And when Dan gets back, we'll talk about that really quick. That's we celebrate Gary Gygax's Day. Typically, we would do it here at a local gaming shop. But, of course, that's not going to happen, which means it'll be open to everyone on the internet. We're thinking about doing 4 days of gaming, 4 separate teams, and you got it? He's back?
Did Grizzly say anything?
No, Grizzly said, yes, help me, escape. I need to get...
He did run off pretty quickly.
Like your mug, he wanted to escape. No, I was just mentioning... Go ahead.
I say he detected evil.
I was mentioning the tournament, which after we do today's event, we have to really start getting serious about. But we talked about 4 teams going through the same adventure, tournament scoring, winner take all.
Exactly. And you know where that adventure is?
Where is it? It's right here. It's right in Dan's brain.
Right in my noodle.
That's it.
Right in my noodle. Okay. I believe you are rolling a D10,
D10,
sir.
That's right. The only reason I wasn't too mad that you need to get the book is because you have marked up your book in that has all the settings. One is I rolled a 7.
Okay. Turning. I am flipping. Oh, it is outdoor.
Outdoor.
An outdoor random encounter.
Okay.
And I now need you to roll. Hold on. I should know this by now. A D6, please.
D6. 3.
Okay. We are in a temperate wilderness.
Nice.
I now need you to roll another D6, please.
3.
We are in a forest. And I now need you to roll. Oh, hang on. I'm going to grab something else. Hold on. Be right back.
Really?
Just a minute.
What time is this now? 32:51. Dan leaves again.
So as you know, I'm easily fascinated.
Right.
And so I was interested in this issue of a D8 and a D12 having a flatter curve.
Right.
And so I actually did test it out. And it is, yes, and it is.
So what do you mean you tested out? You actually sat and rolled dice?
No,
Oh.
I didn't roll dice. I did a chart
You did a matrix.
with all of the possibilities.
Okay.
And it is so, and it's true. So that's barbecue chicken pizza.
Oh, yeah.
And so yeah, so if you've got two dice that are different amounts, it does flatten. So absolutely. So it matters.
You know, we did. I told you that. I think I told
know
you
you
that
did.
David Thompson, our Chamberlain, told you that. But apparently but you wanted to prove it for yourself.
No, I knew it was. No, I'm sure it was true, but I wanted to see it in action. It was very interesting to me. Well, and it says it in the book too, actually.
Yeah.
Right. I think
it does.
It's yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't have anything to do.
Apparently, you
right.
could have been working on the module. No, I think it's almost like when the science teachers, bring those experiments home that you have to do with your kids, and they're annoying experiments, and you feel like you have to do them, even though okay, I get it that the hair was going to stick on the balloon. I get it. Why do I have to show my whatever?
Right.
And if you have one kid, it's usually you're okay. But when you have 3 of them, after the 3rd time, you're just like, look, can we just skip these steps? You're not going into science.
I did it last year. Just I'll sign it. Just give me the paper. I'll sign it.
Right.
I'll say you did it.
Right.
All right. So you're now rolling. Yes. A flatter curve.
The D8. We're trying to flatten the curve. Do we have something that expands the curve? Because that's where we're at today. With the pandemic, is there something that just has just a straight line?
Yeah. Well, that would be like 1 to 20. That's one die.
Well, that's still linear. We actually want something that's that is exponential. That's what we want to. You roll a D6 and it ends up being 5,000. A total of 14.
We're in the forest. Is that right?
We're in so I wrote this down. Outdoor temperate wilderness forest. Yes.
Okay. And what did you roll?
14.
Oh, this is fantastic. Giant porcupine.
Giant porcupine. Okay.
Then I got upset because I tried to talk to the giant porcupine in the No Illusionist Thief thing, and Kelly said I couldn't speak to it, and I wondered if it was burrowing.
Did you review that?
I did, and I think something like they burrow sometimes.
Occasionally.
And that leads to a whole debate. We'd have to get, of course, the expert of communicating with burrowing mammals on here, Rob Ritchie,
right,
to answer that.
Correct.
But all right. So where is the giant porcupine? Do you know?
He's on the 12th layer of the abyss, which apparently has a temperate forest area. But now we need a second pond.
I meant what book?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
Did you know there's deadly pudding? What's deadly pudding?
You can't eat your meat until you have your deadly pudding.
There's deadly dun pudding. There's brown pudding. Here's a white pudding, but is this this is the white pudding from...
Well, there's pseudo-undead.
From the Frost Giants, right?
Apparently not.
Okay, I think...
Not in this one.
Okay, I did not find...
What is it, the Monster Manual? Porcupine? Does that sound right?
Yeah, it is. It is. Page 79.
79.
The giant porcupine.
Okay. Wow, 6 hit dice.
I was looking at something yesterday that was common, and it was just startling to me that it was common, but it's lost to me. So yes, okay. So the giant porcupine is uncommon, 1 to 2 appearing, AC 5. It's a slow mover. That's good, right?
Yep.
6 inches, so you can flee. So yeah, 6 hit dice. It's large.
It's giant.
It is. So, and that's not large. They don't mean large. Gary doesn't mean large for a porcupine.
Yeah, they mean large for
It's
large.
large compared to a human.
Right.
So it's like the size, like of an elephant?
Yeah, it's big.
I don't think I ever realized a giant porcupine was not just like, like a giant rat or something,
No,
just like a really big porcupine.
Right. No, this is a massive porcupine.
Holy mackerel. And it shoots quills.
Right.
Okay, it's animal intelligence. It's neutral. Giant porcupines are found primarily in wooded areas. They are stupid.
Stupid. How terrible. That's not very correct.
Gary calls a lot of people stupid.
Well,
we're going to talk about Dragon Magazine.
Yeah,
Wasn't he talking about people? He was saying people were stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. But if threatened, they are able to defend themselves with ease. The giant porcupine can bite with some effect. Oh, so that's the 2 to 8, I guess.
Yeah.
1 at 2 to 8, maybe? But they will do this only in the most desperate defense. 10% chance per melee round the creature is above 50% damage.
When they're cornered, basically. The old cornered animal thing. That's when they'll strike out with their claw, with their teeth.
The old saying, don't corner a giant porcupine.
Right.
The main defense of the giant porcupine is its ability to shoot 1 to 8 quills from its tail. Each quill doing 1 to 4 hit points of damage and having a range of 30 feet, as its quills are up to 3 feet long. Oh my goodness. Any attack which comes within 6 feet of the creature will likewise suffer 1 to 4 quills in return from the porcupine's defensive movement. There's no practical limit to the number of quills the creature can use, as there are over 80 in its tail and over 300 on its body. The porcupine views any approach within 30 feet as a threat. Okay, so I need to digest this, because as you know, when I read, I generally don't understand what I'm reading. It's been a problem for me all my life. So
especially in your job, which you have.
Yeah, in school. It caused all sorts of difficulties, which is why I was always telling my parents, just sign it, okay? Say I did it. Okay, so, all right. So it can bite, but it's going to bite rarely. So its main defense is shooting these quills, so it can do 1 to 8. And so I assume you got to do a hit on each one.
Yes.
Okay, so we'd roll 8 times. 1 to 4, and it's 30 feet. And is there so do you have a deduction? Is it like short, medium, and long for missile weapons? I guess not.
It just says 30 feet.
So, okay, so no deduction. It's good. So it will any attack which comes within 6 feet of the creature likewise suffer 1 to 4 quills in return.
Right.
Okay, from its defensive. Wait, is this in addition?
Yes.
So I'm confused.
Right.
Yes.
So 1 is an attack. Even though they say it's its main defense, it's actually its attack. It's going to shoot at you if you're within 30 feet, if it senses you're a threat. Because only stupid things, to use Gary's parlance, is going to get towards a giant porcupine within 30 feet of it. You're obviously want to tussle with it.
It's like the giant skunk roll.
Right. You don't, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're not like, hey, let's go check out that giant skunk.
Right.
So what you're saying is, if I come within 30 feet, we know that it views any approach as within 30 feet as a threat.
Yep.
So once you're within 30 feet, you are getting 1 to 8 quills.
Right.
Is that right?
Yep. 1 to 8 quills at 1 to 4 points of damage if they hit. So that's pretty powerful. This makes the Manicore tails look crappy.
Yeah, and so when you attack, then on your round of attack, when it's doing its defensive business,
then you're
getting another 1 to 4.
Right, because you get stuck with them.
So you're getting 2 to 12. Oh, wow. Yeah, so, I got you now. So it's not shooting. You're like in melee, and it's now lashing about.
Right, and you're getting impaled by these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't look too good. Are you feeling all right there,
Oh,
buddy?
my nose, my allergies all of a sudden just kicked up. It's just,
Oh, no.
it's just the thought of giant porcupines. So I'll be okay.
Okay. I care about you. So
Well, I did see you yesterday, though we had masks on, so perhaps, and I was fine up until yesterday. Maybe you're an asymptomatic carrier, and now you've
Oh my God.
you've
Yeah.
you've taken me out.
I'm gonna have to run the IT tonight for the game. Oh, that's not good.
No, I think I'll survive. I just may not say much.
better.
I'll
Just survive through tonight.
You'll just see my hand moving the mouse around. That's right.
You see the one.
Oh, that's right. That's the love. That's just survive to tonight. After that, your usefulness drops off. I appreciate that.
So let me understand. I think I understand what's going on with the giant porcupine here. Basically, it's random encounter. You take lots of damage. If you're low level, you're dead.
Yeah, if you're low level and you get within 30 feet of this, you deserve death. Because you're going to get an average of 4 quills, each of them doing 2.5 points of damage. Hit die 6, that's what, about 4.5 times 2.5? That's like 10 points of damage per round, roughly. That's a lot.
Well, I don't know that I deserved it. I'm walking around a corner. I turn a bend on the forest path. That would be terrible.
Yeah, that's
And you
if it's
come around the bend-
surprise, you're screwed. You're right.
And could you imagine if you're a gnome, how little you are, or a halfling, just walking down the forest, and there's this ginormous.
Right. It doesn't even say. It just says
porcupine.
large. So, and yes,
But it's quills 3 feet.
right. Yeah, they're like that. They're a
Yeah.
yard. They're a yard.
It goes like right through you.
Right, and they're commenting on the chat. Yeah, right. If you attack the porcupine, you suffer D4 quills. That's what I read. Now the question is, do they automatically hit, or do you roll an attack in the defensive thing?
I think you roll an attack. It doesn't say automatically hit,
Right,
right?
that's right.
Oh, it does say will suffer.
Oh, well,
What the heck
that's true.
Will suffer.
Yeah, well,
Suffer 1 to 4 quills. Nah, I don't know. Because you've got armor and things like that, and hit points are like, I don't know. It's not necessarily actual damage. It's you're being warned. I think the default, unless Gary's quite clear, I would think that you need to do a roll.
well, you could read it either way. It also depends how much the party's upset you. If you say there's a giant creature with hundreds of 3-foot-long quills and it's a random encounter, and they go, oh, let's attack it, then I would give them the auto hit. If it's the gnome that turns the bend, I would let him roll.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a rule. I'm lawful neutral. There's a rule. You're a little chaotic there, buddy.
Yeah.
There's a rule, and you got to decide it. You need predictability. So, all right. So I don't know that we have. Oh, and I'd like to get some thoughts on people if gnomes can talk to the giant porcupine, if a giant porcupine burrows at all. But I don't know that we have much more to talk about with the giant porcupine, do we?
We're ready. The Scourge says no, they don't burrow.
Okay.
He said that
then
already.
If that's true.
Well, him and Kelly have
Then-
said no.
Well, and then I owe an apology to Kelly.
But I thought Minnesota's a badger, not, or is it, no, they're gophers. Wisconsin's
Gophers.
the badger.
So what you're saying is, as a gnome, I shouldn't go up and try to talk to the giant porcupine?
Right. As the Scourge has said, they're blind as bats and dumber than rocks, just bristling with pain. That could be said about a lot of people.
That's right.
All right. Well.
So
go ahead.
so they're like what am I thinking about? What are those, the long snouts that they run around here in Florida everywhere, and they're blind?
Possums?
Oh, thank you. So like possums.
Yeah, except they're.
They're not deadly. Possums aren't deadly like
no,
that.
possums
They're
are
not aggressive.
possums are just road bump. They're speed bumps.
Right. Okay.
But these are terrible.
Okay. All right. So that's
Contestant number one.
Yes, in the left corner, the giant porcupine. And so now you are rolling again a
D10.
What was it? A D10.
10. 4.
In a dungeon.
Oh, good.
Okay. And you are rolling another D10, please.
D10. 3.
Okay. And now I need the 2 to 20 The flat bell
The
curve.
flattened curve.
Roll.
D2, okay. Now I'm becoming like Dan. I'm struggling to identify the dice. 16. That's a little off the curve.
I have no. This has got to be Monster Manual 2. It is something called the Ustilagor. Ustilagor. I feel like I'm in a spelling bee. We should have that.
The Monster Manual spelling bee? I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
We should have next. Yeah, remind me of that, and I'll get some words. I was thinking of a segment. I was thinking of, you know what I was thinking of? Like, wouldn't it be fun? It'd be hard to do. People may not like it. But remember the show To Tell the Truth?
Yes.
We'd have 3 people on, like, and one of them wrote for Dragon Magazine, and you'd do the Tell the Truth, you know, and you'd ask each one of them questions, and the other 2 would be imposters, and we wouldn't call it To Tell the Truth, because then we get in trouble. We'd call it Detect Lie.
Detect Lie. Right.
Is that gold?
I think that's
Silver?
good. Huh?
Copper?
Right.
Is that, I was going to say, is that gold? Is that silver at least? Copper?
That's awesome. Detect Lie.
Like that? Okay, but we'd have to find like a lot of people. Okay.
Well, we would do it with.
Ustilagor.
We would do it with. Yeah, we'd have to find people who are interesting, which we have some people who are interesting. That would be. Oh, that's not. You didn't.
Right.
That really didn't happen.
Right.
Okay. Yes, it's on page 122. I don't think I've ever used this thing. It looks like an intellect.
Come on.
Intellect Devourer's retarded cousin. Can I say
Okay,
retarded?
listen.
I apologize.
Okay, look. Okay, can you show pages 122 and 123? This is why the Monster Manual 2 is just, look at these things. They're all, I mean, what are these things? See, that's ridiculous. The Monster Manual has giant porcupine. That's a normal, solid
But they didn't.
creature.
They didn't do an illustration of the porcupine. I guess they assumed you knew what it was.
I know, so disappointing, isn't it?
It would have been nice
So-
to have, the thief or a gnome illusionist getting impaled by them, but no.
Yes, the quill through him.
We need we need people to make art of things for the Monster Manual that weren't illustrated. Perhaps when we talk to our special
Yes.
guest in August, maybe he'll do we could commission him to do artwork for that, because that would be amazing.
That would be. We'd have to drain the
Yeah.
the patron funds.
I'm sure that we would have to it would be a good giveaway, a frame sign thing with a porcupine impaling a gnome.
We can't give that away. Are you kidding? See, I just look at this thing,
Yeah.
the Ustilagor, and it looks, I don't know, I'm not feeling it, but all right.
I said
here's
it
the
looks
good
like an
news.
Intellect Devourer's
Yes.
not formed cousin or whatever.
Right. All right, here it is. All right, it's rare. I guess I should cheer up, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
I'm not approaching this very well. Okay, I'm sorry. The Ustilagor. Okay, James, it's rare. It's AC5, 9-inch movement, 3+3 hit dice, so it's actually less than our giant porcupine.
Right.
1 attack, 2 to 5, plus poisoning.
Yeah.
Those are all. It has psionics. Are you prepared to handle psionics in combat?
I am prepared.
Oh no, this is great. You know what its alignment is?
Yes.
Neutral, paren,
Parenthetical
Evil.
evil. Parenthetical evil.
parenthetical evil. I love it. Just like the giant hangs out with giant rats. All right, it's got psionic ability. Ustilagor fungi.
Hold on, we're getting some
Okay.
comments about there's some pushback on our disliking the Monster Manual 2 artwork. So
No, well, wait, hold on. Now let me be clear. I'm not talking about the quality of the artwork.
correct.
I'm talking about these creatures just seem bizarre. And there's so many of them that seem bizarre. I wouldn't mind like an Ustilagor next to like some more normal looking creatures. But
The
these
fact
are
that you said that
all-
they're normal looking creatures is interesting.
I know. It's a little. It's an oxymoron. So they know, all right, so they're like, don't you agree? I mean, look on the next page. They're all, stuff is just odd.
But- and even the oddity is fine. What we find most unlikeful is look at going back to, on the same page as the porcupine, 78 and 79, there
Yes.
are 2 pictures which show, this is so instructional. We have the giant pike and the piercer.
Right.
They have pictures of how to use these monsters.
As it says, it's structural for a DM is what you, as a
Right.
DM, you're finding this helpful.
Right. you can
Right.
give to people and go, look, here it is. This is what happened to you. I don't, because a lot of players when you try to explain things to them, they may have master's degrees, they may be PhDs, but all of a sudden they become very dense. I'm just going to say it that way. What do you mean? How did that happen? What do you mean it fell out of the sky and impaled me?
Right, but then when they do something, it's like, no, it happened this
Right,
way. I did it like this.
and you go, this is what happened. Oh, okay, got it. That's
Blame Gary.
yeah. To me, I think that's where it was. Now, if they had, the Ustilagore, I don't know, whatever it's going to do, we're going to find out. Because it attacks with its tendrils and wrapping it around a human, I'd be a little better. But yes, there is some oddity to the creatures. I agree with that.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Early controversy. So Ustilagore fungi appear to be brain-like growths with coral-like appendages. Although soft and not fast by normal standards, they can scuttle and dart, and this accounts for their relatively high armor class. Their attack consists of flicking out ribbon-like tendrils about 3 feet long. A hit inflicts damage due to alkaline fluids and causes the victim to save versus poison or suffer additional like damage. Oh, so it's not okay.
Yeah,
so
it's not super poison, unfortunately.
not save or die. On the following round, as a caustic substance affects its bodies. Ustilagores have no intelligence or mind as defined by human standards, so mental attacks do not affect them. These monsters do, however, have some form of brain, for they have psionic powers. Ustilagores can employ telepathic. It says telepathic. What is it? I thought it was telepathic. There's an M there. You see that? Telepathic?
Yeah.
Ustilagores can employ telepathic projection to project the following emotions on an individual during a round. Okay, all right. I don't know if you noticed, we have a creature that does something similar to this in I think it was in White Dwarf, the one we're going to be looking at.
Oh, that's right.
Remember,
Well,
it exacerbates your emotions.
yep, you're exactly right. I forgot about that.
So, okay. So we've seen this before, and that's all a little I think it's a little carbuncle.
Yeah, the carbuncle.
So we've seen this before. Hate for associates, distrust of associates, fear of fungi, loathing of area, or uncertainty. These projected emotions cause attack, bickering, desertion, or dithering accordingly. So that's very derivative, isn't it? We've seen that with the carbuncle, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
The carbuncle does stuff like that. And White Dwarf from 1980 had a creature similar to that. Ustilagores also use energy control to protect themselves from spell attacks and the like. They attack psionic individuals only by id insinuation. Only a psionic blast will affect them in turn. Okay.
All right.
I don't know. Am I being...
Yeah, it's not that great.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I
Convince me I'm wrong.
Well, I'd like to know how this creature came to be, right? We know, who thought of it, what was the context of it, what was the ecology of this thing. It's a fungus. And there's been a number of these fungi and oozes and jellies that have psionic ability. So, all right. That's good.
Okay, you convinced me.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, it's all right.
He's meh. He is meh, isn't he?
Yeah. And I think the porcupine is super cool.
See? Just a regular porcupine, but you make him giant and he's got the quills. He's cooler.
Right, which if anything's derivative, that's really derivative. Just taking normal animals and making them giant. But that's, we like that.
For some reason I like that, Okay. To each his own.
Well, you get to pick.
All right.
Or you get to roll to see who.
Okay.
You're the. I know you want 1 to 3. You pick 1 to 3 is porcupine. Is that how you want?
Okay, 1, 2, or 3, and you're the Ustilagore.
Okay.
4, 5, or 6, and I'm the porcupine.
Okay. Perfect. That's great.
Now, what? 1, 2, or 3, you're the Ustilagore. 4, 5, or 6, I'm the Ustilagore. Aw, come on. I'm the Ustilagore. I kill myself. Is there a cliff nearby?
You jump off the 12th tree, right? And there are 12 trees here?
Yes. I climb. Can I climb? I'm going to do it. You're going to have to, talk me down. Don't do it, Ustilagore. No. I'm derivative.
I'm just a carbuncle.
Yes, I didn't even make it into the feed folio.
Sorry, I don't even make it to the feed folio.
I'm a Fiend Factory wannabe. That's bad. When you're a Fiend Factory wannabe, you know you're unusual. When the Fiend Factory crowd is like, "Damn, dude, you're weird."
When who was it? Albie, or who was the one who did the reviews?
Albie Fiore was the editor. He didn't do all, but yes, he was the editor.
And he would even say, "We think these are garbage, but we're going to publish them as is."
I love it, and yes, and like people, they so publish them as is. Do they not want to retype them because they're like, it isn't mentioned what you need to turn this thing, and so they'll opine on. I loved that about White Dwarf. Actually, I loved the fact that they would criticize, be critical, and comment on them. But yeah, they're not very good, but we're publishing it anyway. So all right,
Yeah.
So let's do
So I'm
it.
the porcupine.
I'm doing a Sonic Blast.
You don't have a Sonic Blast. You can only
I'm
be
doing
attacked.
id whip.
You can. I don't. You can only do
Is
it
there an id
against
whip?
it. It doesn't do anything to me because I'm not a Sonic creature.
Okay, I grapple.
You can You can try to grapple. And in fact, I hope you do grapple.
My tendrils.
That's right, because I'm going to spine you with my porcupine things, quivers.
So basically, this creature is fun to mess with a party. So this kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, I guess I could try to make you. Oh, to have some. Can I play? So I could do telepathic projection. Can I do telepathic projection even though you don't have psionics?
No, you can do the
right?
projection. You can do that regardless. Correct.
That's not psionics, right?
Correct.
Or what is it?
It's telepathic projection.
Okay, so I'm going to so I can do fear of fungi against you.
Yes, that would be good.
Okay, got it.
All right.
Okay.
So first we have to roll surprise,
Okay.
and I got to keep writing these segments down. Which, by the way, if we keep adding segments, the pandemic will be over, and we'll still be adding segments because that's a lot. All right. So we're gonna roll d6 for surprise, correct?
Yes.
No, using standard surprise. Here we go.
I should be happy.
5.
2. Yay.
5.
Yes, a 2.
Okay. You are surprised for 2 segments.
Okay, I don't have a brain. Why am I surprised?
Well,
Either I'm never surprised or I'm
is that
always
literally
surprised.
you don't have a brain? Why am I surprised? Or you could, or am I saying you don't have a brain? Why am I surprised? That's
Oh, I got you. Yes, you shouldn't be surprised.
literally. All right, let's see. 10 to 30 feet because you're surprised. We're surprised. 10 feet away.
Oh no! So I came. Wait, hold on. So what's happening here? So I'm like, we're in the kind of the forest because we should be in your area, right?
Right.
'Cause so like I'm usually in a dungeon, but I find myself for some bizarro reason.
We're in the 12
in the
trees or
abyss.
whatever it's called.
So I'm in the 12 trees exactly. So I'm like wandering down this path, and I turn the bend.
Right.
And there you are.
There you are.
And you're huge. Do you know I am 1 foot to 1.5 feet in diameter?
You are a snack. That's what you are.
I should go to walk under you. What do you care about me? I'm a snack.
You've come within 30 feet of me, and what does that mean? You're a threat.
So you're just like, stuff is coming at you, birds. You're just quills. So like you could just be walking through the forest and a quill comes at you. Yeah, you're like, you never even saw the porky. It's like he's like somewhere else, right?
Right.
And you just okay.
It would have been better if we had speaking of odd monsters, the creature next to the Urstadagor would have been better. The land urchin would have been a better.
A land urchin.
The one that's right next to him, because he's he's got spikes too. It could have been a spike on spike action.
Oh yeah.
Spike versus quill.
So is the land urchin like the Darwin thing? Like they come out of the sea and they grow legs?
Apparently.
Is that what it is?
I guess.
So he's like in the middle. He's gonna okay.
Yeah, but that seems more appropriate. Anyway, so the porcupine has 2 segments of surprise. You're within 10 feet. He's going to attack. Let's see how many quills he launches at you. It says,
okay, do
ahead.
you think, I'm sorry, but do you think that monsters that don't have pictures get used less?
I believe so.
I think so. Okay, that's all. Because I'm not even paying attention to the twilight bloom up here. It's called Purple Death.
Purple Death, yeah.
Yeah, right. Purple Death. All right. Okay, attack.
Yes.
So you're doing the quills.
1 to 8 quills. 8 quills.
No, I'm having I think I have my allergies. 8 quills.
8 quills.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna roll my hit dice.
Well, it could be
Which one's
dust.
that? 8-sided.
Could be dust.
Pointier one, right?
Yeah. So,
Hang on. I got a 3.
so your AC is
A 1.
5
Oh, and a 7. No, that's 4. 11.
plus
14.
14 points. You have 14 hit points. Keep track of
Right,
that.
14 hit points.
He is
Okay.
6 hit dice. Your armor class is 5.
Correct, sir.
Wow. He needs an 8.
90% lair. Why did I ever go out?
Right,
of the
you should have
lair?
never left.
That's just my luck. I decide that 10% of the time to go out, and I run into a giant porcupine.
2 hits. 2 hits, 2 misses. It's actually.
Oh, and you get 2 attacks.
I don't get 2 attacks. I get 1 attack, but I shoot you 8 times. I'm rolling 8 different
No,
attacks.
you get 2 rounds. No, I rolled a 2.
Oh yeah,
I'm
that's
surprised.
correct. You're exactly right.
Let's bring this to an end.
I only hit you 4 times, which is actually pretty good for you.
On attack, which on attack number 1?
4 times I hit you. On attack number 1, correct.
Right.
So it does a 1d4. The first segment, you take 9 points of damage.
Wow.
This is why surprise is so ridiculous. So now the second round.
Okay.
This will be quick. 16, 14, 14. Oh, I got to see how many quills I get. I can't assume. Oh, I only get 1. Darn it. For 3 points. So I did 12 points of damage.
Wow. I have 2. All right. I have 2 hit points.
You have 2 hit points. So now it's
So I've
initiative.
got, how many quills are sticking in me? I need a visual.
5.
So I'm this little 1 to 1.5 foot in diameter little blob.
Right, with
legs.
5 rulers, basically, those like yardsticks.
So now I look like the urchin next on the
You
left.
do look like the urchin, except you.
I'm a land urchin. You wanted a land
I
urchin.
got it.
I should charge you with your own quills.
You should.
You SOB.
I don't know if that does anything, but that would be something because you're about to die.
Okay.
So
Let's go.
declare
All right.
action now.
Yes. I am going to...
I would like you to write a piece of paper and send it to me. What your actions are.
Thank you, Gary. I want to do a fear of fungi emotion. I'm going to try to project. I'd like to project, and the emotion I like to project is fear of fungi.
I think.
Wait, that's not very good. Wait, that's a terrible decision, but I guess I said it because if you're afraid, you're going to bite me.
I'm going to shoot you more. Exactly.
That's right. I misplayed that.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah. So excellent. All right. I'm going to continue to feel like I've been threatened, and I'm going to continue to shoot my hundreds of missiles at you. All right. So here's initiative.
You're not going to bite me?
No. 2.
Okay. 5.
All right. So I feel completely feared.
Well, let me ask you. Hold on, but let me ask you this. So you can employ telepathic projection. How does that work, though? Do you get...
I'm going to say he gets a saving throw.
These projected emotions cause attack, bickering, desertion, dithering accordingly. Yeah, I was going to say, do you get a saving throw? Is telepathy
Attack is hate,
discussed
bickering
somewhere?
is distrust, desertion is fear.
Oh, wait, where did you see that?
Well, it says, does these emotions. Hate,
Is it... Oh, yeah.
the projected emotions
line
cause
up.
attack. I've learned from you that accordingly, I assume means in the order that they were presented.
I agree with that. Very good. Good spotting. So here's the question.
So you
So
want to know if
it
you get
says-
a attack.
Well, it says, are you going to desert? Because it says the porcupine. Right? When the porcupine, is he going to desert because he's afraid?
Yeah. If I'm going to give him a
Okay.
saving throw. If he doesn't make
So
a
you're not going to have him. You're not going to have him bite because wasn't there something about
No,
he gets bitey?
if he's down less than 50% of his hit points.
The giant porcupine bite was something they would do so only in the most desperate. Right, he's not cornered. It's not like I've got you cornered
Right.
against a tree or anything. Or right, like you said, 50% is the rule. Okay, cool. So you would desert if but you think there should be a save?
Yes. Save versus
Is
stealth.
that's just sort of your sense?
Yeah. It's an
I
attack.
assume there's no.
Unless you're gonna
attack.
roll to hit for the attack, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there is. I assume this is not the time to look up telepathy in the DMG, which refers you to ESP.
Oh god.
It's not. Well, like, what does a helmet telepathy do?
It lets you read thoughts, if I remember correctly, and emote.
But so, I'm not just reading your thoughts.
No, you're projecting.
Right?
You're projecting an emotion.
Is there like a spell like that?
Probably.
So my
emotion. I think the emotion's what, 8th level spell? It's a pretty powerful spell. Do you want me to look that up now?
I guess the only reason I say that is I would then be saying to myself, okay, is there some guidance?
Here we go.
More than just...
All right, page 116. Telepathic projection. Player's handbook.
Where, page 116 of what?
Player's handbook.
Yeah, so you're in psionics. There it is. Yes.
It's similar to the devotion of empathy. However, the possessor is able to send an emotion.
Oh, there it is. Saving throw is special. So we have to go to...
Empathy.
Empathy?
Yes.
We're turning. We're flipping. There it is. Okay. Empathy. So page 112. This discipline allows the basic needs, drives, and/or emotions generated by any unshielded sentient mind to be sensed by the possessor of the psionic power. Thus, he or she can sense thirst, hunger, fear, fatigue, blah, blah, blah. This system functions in a directional path. Okay, now wait a second. Under empathy, it says saving throw, none.
Right.
But under and it is telepathic.
It is. That's what I said. It's right.
Yeah.
How about that?
We've learned a new
Another word for that spelling bee.
Yes, telepathic.
That's right.
What do you mean?
Can you put that in a sentence?
We don't know what telepathic means, do we? Maybe someone in the chat could help us. Do you know what telepathic
No, I have no idea.
is?
I think people put it there. It must be the science of reading and empathetic. It's probably empathy and tele.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It's like telephone.
And tele must mean like telephone,
yeah.
telegraph.
Right.
To communicate.
Telestrate, yep.
Okay.
Project emotions.
Right.
Now they want exactly GROGTALK spelling bee with prizes. That's right. Well, we have always commented, and I know many of the folks have said this, that these books, especially for me, they definitely improve my lexicon because I have words like telepathic. I have no idea. I'd have to look it up to figure out what it is. So
what?
Go ahead.
It says special under saving throw here. It says special, but then when you go to empathy.
Well, because empathy, you're just reading the emotions of the person. So you're just.
But why wouldn't it say negates? It says special, but then it doesn't. Special usually means it's going to tell us something. It doesn't say negates or none. It says special.
Well, it says the possessor is able to send an emotion, and then it says special.
Yes.
For saving throw. So the way I'm going to read it, unless it says something about psionics and the saving throws, which it may.
That's what I'm looking for. Great. See, stupid Ustalagor. It's got me stuck in psionics.
And this is why people go, can't we just play code names or something? Because we're having to look up how telepathic projection works. Anyway, when I see a save special, it means there is a save. So that's the way I look at it.
Hey, on the spot sounds good to me.
Well, I felt better once I saw that there is a telepathic projection and that it has a special for saving throw.
Yeah. I mean, so it is a psionic attack.
Right.
And I can use this on anybody, right? Is what you said,
yes,
right?
You can.
On an individual during a round.
Right. And it's a animal intelligence. So I think it's very base. I think it just gets a saving throw.
Okay.
And the saving throw, I'm going to rule that it's favorable to the Ustalagor. If he makes the save, that means, like what people are saying in the chat, that the porcupine is going to react violently to the fear. In other words, he's going to attack.
That is special.
Right. If he fails his save, he's going to just try to run away.
Right.
Because that's good for the Ustalagor. So he needs to make a saving throw. And this is why, pro DM tip, I wouldn't try to figure all this out. I just roll and see. Once I've said I'm going to give him a saving throw, if he makes it, if he gets like an 18, he saves, he's going to do whatever he wants to do. If he gets a 1 or a 2, he's going to do what's good for the person who's trying to do the thing. I rolled an 8. That's probably not good.
That doesn't sound good.
That doesn't sound good at all
For you.
for the porcupine.
Oh, I was already planning on getting a porcupine plush toy for you to put in the Grog studio behind you.
Oh yeah, he totally
Grog
failed to save. All right, so he's going to attempt to flee.
Because I get an opportunity attack, don't I?
Yes, of course. You're 10 feet away. Do you want to take advantage of that opportunity attack?
Yes.
Okay, make your roll your to hit.
So you just flee. So you're not. I guess you don't get to do anything, right? Because you're scared.
I'm running. That's right.
Fear of fungi.
Fear of fungi.
Okay. I rolled a 19.
You hit, and then I have to make a saving throw if I remember correctly.
And I get 2 to 5. Hang on, 2 to 5 damage, right? Don't I do my damage? The tendrils.
Yep.
Or is that
No,
the
it's the tendrils, and then I have to save versus poison.
Yes, my tendril did 4 points of damage. My alkaline fluids. Oh, poor.
That's
disgusting.
Porcupine. 14.
You think I impaled my? Is there a chance I impaled my tendril in a quill?
Oh well, yeah, that's what's definitely going to happen. That's why I wanted you to attack, because you get 1 to 4 attacks back. Any physical attack, you get 1 to 4 quills back.
Oh, but I asked you. I said all you got to do, all you're doing is fleeing.
Right, but then
and
you
I go,
attacked.
wow. Okay.
And now you have to save versus poison. So how much damage did you do to the?
We could both die.
Correct. Well.
No, you're not gonna die. I did 4 points of
All
damage.
right, he has to make a saving throw. He failed his saving throw, so you can do another D4 on him.
Okay. Poison time. 4 plus 1, right?
Yeah.
Another 5 hit points more.
So a total of 9.
Yes, sir.
So he's down to 10 because he has 19 hit points because he's 6 hit dice.
Okay. But I made another error. I've not played the Oostligor very well.
Well, I think you have. I think you've done great.
I see porcupine plush toy coming.
So now you get 4 quills at you in response to you slashing out.
I'm always lashing out the Oostligor. I shouldn't lash out.
You were hit 3 times.
No, I'm done.
For 8 points of damage.
I'm praying to the brain deity.
To the fungi deity.
Oh wait, the non-brain. It's odd, isn't it? I look like a big brain when right?
Yeah.
But I have no brain. I have no intelligence.
You have
it's ironic,
weird intelligence, yes, because you're a fungus. It's alien.
All right, here we go. I know there's been a lot of suggestions that I cheat on these rolls, but here we go. All right, I'm praying we'll figure it out if we need to. Oh God. Okay, listen. You heard the dice roll.
Oh.
Okay, look. Can you see?
No, I see dice. I see. I'm getting nauseous. Oh God.
Do you see that?
Yes. Yes, I see it. I don't. I think you rolled other dice and you just kept those that way.
No.
Where's Grizzly?
Yeah, the noise. I took some other dice
right.
for the noise and just set them
That's
down
exactly.
as the 05. I'm telling you, I swear to my deity. I swear to Jublix.
Yes, these are. This is just. It's insane. I mean, the people are responding.
They're angry.
Yes, viscerally to
We need
this.
to talk this out.
No, we don't need to talk this out.
Do I need to take a lie detector test?
The Isligor is dead regardless, so he's gone. Now the question is.
Listen, and this is not in my interest. I wanted the giant porcupine plush toy, right? Because you know how I feel about Go Delicious.
Right, I agree.
So I would think that would have been awesome to have a giant. I mean, think of all the names: Spike, right, or Pointy, whatever, right?
Yeah, Spike was
Mr.
good.
Pointy,
Yep.
Ms. Pointy. Okay.
So now we need to figure out.
Well, this just may be sending a small animal, but we do need to find out the
deity.
Well, should we roll to see if the actual deity comes? Because the odds are pretty low.
Yes, let's do that.
Its hit dice is only 3. It's like a 3% chance, right? Oh God. Okay, hold on.
Well, I totally agree that people are commenting it is animal intelligence. It has no intelligence, but clearly it has intelligence.
Oh.
So.
Okay. Well, here you go.
Good.
James, are you watching?
I'm watching. I really hope the deity comes.
Oh my, this is kind of scary. 66.
Uh-oh.
Does that mean like a giant spider comes?
That would be
Or
nice.
like a dryad? or not a dryad. What are those things? Those lost things?
Well, your interpretation of divine intervention has got them all fired up because they're like, why does a brain fungus have a deity? Well, so
Hey, it's a show.
it's a show. This is what we do. How do you think I feel? I have to deal with this.
That's right. So, don't you think that roll of 66 means something? We're in the abyss, and you saw it.
Right.
I rolled a 66.
Well, it could be. Maybe we should look on page 66 of the DMG. Let's pick a deity from page 66. Nope.
Okay.
No, that's not so good. Only.
So what would this? So wait. Well, he's a fungus.
Right.
So he send like yellow fungi or a yellow musk monster zombie?
Possibly. Or he could send a mold back to...
Right.
Well, it could be Jubilex again. Could you extend this to slimes and fungus?
Is Jubilex to have any dominion over fungi?
No, it's slimes and jellies.
Okay, so what are the fungi?
I don't know. This is starting to become really...
So we have violet fungi.
Well, you have to figure out the deity first.
Oh, jeez. Carlos is clearly not online.
No, Carlos is not online.
Because he'd be like, well, you got the Greyhawk deity
You're having
of fungi first.
you're having a rebellion here. So you don't listen. Well, you don't watch the chat. I have to watch these people. You have to hear the visceral comments. They're not happy with this.
Well, listen. Maybe they're right.
I'm sure they're. I'm sure they're right.
We know that, right? We know they're right. The question is whether we're going to follow what they say or not.
No, we've set this up. And the problem is we've made the rule that creatures. We did this for non-intelligent. We've done this for the freaking beetle, Apshai, the bug. I don't know why they drew the line here.
Right.
Because we had a fire beetle called Apshai. No, I didn't hear people having a fit about that.
That's right.
They're pro beetle, but fungus. How dare they?
It's the coronavirus. Everyone's getting tense. They're getting edgy. Well, listen, hold on. It could be a Celtic deity because it is plant-like, right? Nature.
Yeah, I like that. I was just on Celtic. That's there. How about that? Where I was just on the Celtic. We could be Sylvanus, god of the forest and nature.
We are in a forest.
We are. I like it.
So where is right?
Page 30.
Sylvanus, god of the forests and nature. Looks like a man with very long legs. Any number of animals and creatures of the forest.
There you go.
Wait, it sounds like he would have been more pro-porcupine. You killed my porcupine?
Yeah.
All right.
He's not down with the semi-weird intelligence.
So
I like this guy, Lug, the long-handed god of generalities. He's the general thing. Oh, that's right, Zugmoy.
who?
Zugmoy, the demon queen of fungi in Greyhawk.
What?
Yeah, Zugmoy. That's.
Oh, see, I don't know any of those. Okay.
That's a good one. No, this is why we have. I think he's in here. It's in here. Zugmoy. Yeah, let's see. Do I have it? Zugmoy. I remember that. We gotta look him up.
Or her.
Or her. Or it. Well, it's not in the Greyhawk one. It must be in the. It must be in, which module was that in? What module was Zugmoy in?
Humongous fungus among us. Okay, so...
Yeah, it's not in here. You're right. But I remember Zugmoy. What was that in? Temple of Elemental Evil? Was that in the Temple of Elemental Evil? Yeah, Temple of Elemental Evil, Zugmoy.
Is mold a fungus?
Do I have the Temple of Elemental Evil? I don't remember. Oh, this thing's grinding to a halt. Now they really know we have no idea what we're doing. I don't know. Okay, you get whatever you want. I don't care. Oh, it could be a Cthulhu deity. Yeah, I don't have the Temple of Elemental Evil sitting here right here. But Zugmoy is a good one. That's a good call, Jonathan. I like that. Let's see.
Do you know if mold is a fungus? Because he could send yellow like a cloud of yellow mold.
Here you go. Interesting. Here we go. Zugmoy is the demon queen of fungi. There you go. Jawless symbols a jawless human skull, and that creature's evil, right?
No, I think it's neutral.
Parenthetical evil. Exactly. That.
Oh, parenthetical evil. Yeah, that's right. Good. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And Zugmoy was in the dread and fell ruler of the 222nd ghastly plane of the abyss.
Oh,
which are
so
on the
he's
abyss.
nearby.
That makes perfect sense. Thank God for our listeners. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Ugmoy.
And she was forced to share Shadakla, a layer of the abyss, with the demon lord Jubilex.
You gotta be kidding
No,
me.
I don't. No, this is.
They're neighbors?
Yeah.
Well, they're roommates.
Right. Exactly.
It's like a duplex.
And also critical, Zugmoy was a competitor and enemy of Loth. Yeah, there is a spelling bee for that.
Oh, and we rolled 66.
That's right.
So it's got that Loth
Yeah,
connection.
it's a Loth connection. That's right. We should
Make sure to put that down for the spelling bee.
Zugmoy?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, this is like what we should do some kind of conspiracy channel where we basically, and then 66 was rolled. Coincidence?
I don't
Or
think
a harbinger of things to come.
That's right.
Okay, so
All right.
you got a fungus. So now you have to figure out what fungus you want Zugmoy to... And that kind of makes sense too, because she's otherworldly, she's alternate intelligence. So what fungus do you want now?
Well, and so do you think is mold a fungus?
I don't think a mold's a fungus, to be perfectly. I'm sure there may be molds that are fungi.
If they're not, then we need to do a fungus.
Well, if we're going to do a fungus, we have to do the mycinoids. Isn't that the whole thing?
We have to do what?
The mycinoids.
No, what are you talking about?
From A4. They're near the Mordrones, but the myconins, the fungus man.
There's a fungus? Oh. Okay.
Fungus man.
All right. I'm sure you clearly must be a monster manual too.
Page 94. That's right. Fungus man.
So that would be a good T-shirt.
Fungus man?
He would be a good little plush toy, don't you think?
That was a great song from Soundgarden, Fungus Man. That was great.
Fungus Man.
Yeah.
Or was it Mycinid, Fungus Man?
See, that
Oh, yes.
the fungus people.
That's awesome. Is that Aerolotus? I love that's great artwork. Wait,
Yes.
on the right, that guy looks like Lawrence Schick. Is that Lawrence Schick on the right?
Well, it could be. He wrote the module.
Doesn't that look like him? I think that looks like him.
There you go.
That's Lawrence Schick. He's fighting. Lawrence Schick is fighting Fungus Man, or a fungus
Colony
man.
of the fungi. Yes. So this is.
Okay.
Does this make it a little better for you that it's in an A module? Which, by the way, what it says in the corner, 1980.
Okay. This writes itself.
That's right. This is. People think we have no idea what we're doing, and they're right. But sometimes it comes together.
We let the dice guide us.
Right. The dice is our thing.
Yeah. Wait. What is it? The dice is my. What are the shirts they have with my
It's
co-pilot?
my co-pilot. That's right.
My D20. Is my co-pilot.
D20 is my co-pilot. Well, there you go. Someone.
That's the T-shirt.
My D20.
The D20 is.
Well, people want us to make a moderately evil T-shirt. They totally want that.
Yes.
I think that's a great idea.
I also want the, what is it, like, something about all dwarves are thieves or something. I don't know.
Well, that's true too.
Okay.
All right.
Rude.
Okay, so now we have to. If you thought there's a block text on this, you got to be kidding me.
Wait, I love this. Oh my God. I can't read this. Wait, they're lawful neutral. They're my alignment. These are my people.
They are your people. Well, you are a fungus. You do kind of grow on people. Oh, I'll be here all week. Thank you very much.
Have the deal. Okay, yeah, no. Listen, I can't read all this. This is horrible. this is where you say, "Don't worry about it, Dan."
Yeah, don't worry about it, Dan.
We'll just go with
Right,
it.
we're just
Okay.
gonna go with it.
Well, I guess we have to figure out what it does, don't we?
Right.
What?
We're good.
Distress, reproducer, rapport, pacifier, hallucinator, animator. What is its albums?
Right.
What is this?
No, they have different. They can spew different clouds of specialized spores.
You've run A4, haven't
Yes.
you? You're ready to go.
Well, I don't know if I'm ready to go, but I'm here. I'm here because yet again you seem to get divine intervention way more frequently than it should be possible.
I know, but you know.
All right, here's what I'm going to do.
you-
I'm going to say, I'm not going to say it's the king of the myconids or whatever they're called.
No.
That would be ridiculous. So roll a d6.
Okay.
I
just feel like I'm seeing, when I look at the fungus man, I look like I'm seeing some guy in a costume that would come out on stage during a Spinal Tap concert.
Well, that's why I like the Earl Otis ones are way better because you got.
Oh yeah.
They look.
Yes, they are.
They should have just used
Yes.
those. Why did they not use these on the cover of A4?
Right.
They're perfect.
Okay. I rolled a 5.
Okay, so it's a 5 hit dice thing.
Oh boy.
That's all you need to know.
Oh, that's not. Oh, the porcupine's going down. Okay.
No, it's not going down.
What do you mean it's not going down?
Uh,
Your porcupine has 2 hit points.
He has 10 hit points. All right, so
okay.
now we have to roll surprise. I have to roll surprise. I don't think the
Yeah, no, because I'm being sent on a mission.
5. I'm not surprised. So the
Okay.
the 5 hit dice.
So you're basically like, oh, fungus. Figured that would happen.
Was there now they're saying was there a fungus lord in the vault of the Drow? There may be. I should have checked that. I apologize.
That fungus has sailed.
That ship has sailed. So this is a pretty powerful fungus man.
Oh, it oozes a poisonous substance to animal flesh.
Right.
You're an animal.
Fungus men fight by clubbing their clasped hands, doing 1/4 of dice per hit dice of size. So there you go. So 5 hit dice do 5 to 20 damage.
Okay.
So there you go. So that's your attack.
Okay.
But you have AC 10, which kind of sucks.
How many attacks do I get? Just one. It says 1 to 4 attacks. Each of their pudgy hands has 2 stubby fingers and a thumb on either side. Okay.
Yeah, this.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm attacking.
And the tale goes on and on. That's what I've just thought. This is like the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. This is our Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, Dan.
Yes. Right. We killed it all goes back to killing, I don't know, Go Delicious.
Right.
It's like killing the albatross. We killed the curse of Go Delicious.
Oh no, I meant this is when you go get a soda and you go to the bathroom.
Yeah, we need an intermission.
This is one segment. Okay. It's initiative.
It's 9:25.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going
Let's
to
go.
12:30 today. We don't have a guest.
Why are you yelling at them? We're the ones doing it. It's like you're angry at the people listening. They have nothing to do with it. It's ourselves to blame. It's your fault for letting me roll. Why did you let me roll? Okay, you let me
You're
roll.
right.
You know
I
I've
know.
got like a connection, right?
Yes, you have something.
Up there. I've got like a stairway to heaven. Okay. Let's go.
Okay.
How many attacks do I get? Let's get this done.
Right. Now
I'm
it's
like
initiative.
ready to.
Okay. We're
Okay,
going
let's
to
do it. All right.
focus.
I rolled a 6. Focus. Wake up. Do you need a 5-hour energy?
No, I'm good.
Because the show's got 5 more
No.
hours. I rolled a 6.
Okay, you want initiative. You're a 5 hit dice creature. So please, for the love of God, hit.
Okay, so how many attacks do I get?
You get
It says
1.
1 to 4. 1? Why? It says 1 to 4.
You get 1 attack.
Where are you at?
Help me help you. Page
Yes,
page
okay.
94. Number of attacks.
I understand. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. I'm getting punchy. Yes, I was looking under damage for attack. I got you. All right. All right, here's the
The
roll.
damage scales based on the
Oh,
creature. So just roll to hit.
just shoot me.
Yeah. Wow.
19.
You hit. Excellent. So now roll 5d4.
Got it. Two, you keep track of this. A 2,
Uh-huh.
a 3,
5.
a 4, a 2,
11.
and a 2.
13 points. Okay, you have slayed the porcupine. However, the porcupine does do 1 to 4 quills against you in the defensive attack.
That's right, because I'm... So tell me, so what do? I put my hands on you?
Right.
I'm grabbing
You pummel me with your giant fungus thing.
Yeah, that is very risky.
Right.
Okay.
Well, he gets 4 attack, and I rolled 4 quills are coming back at you.
My two pudgy hands with my stubby fingers
right.
and thumb.
I rolled 2 twice. I still think I hit. Oh, I missed twice. I needed a 3. Darn it. All right. You take 5 points, but you survive the Myconid, the 5 hit dice Myconid. Is it Myconid? Yeah, Myconid.
So I basically, just kind of, clean my hands.
Well, does the porcupine get the Sylvanas roll now?
Oh gosh.
Well,
you had to say it. Yes.
I'm rolling it.
Go for it.
I'm rolling it.
You roll it.
I'm rolling it.
Yeah. I've been fired.
It says 3, but I'm saying 49, so no.
Did it really say 3?
No.
No. Okay.
Said it was 49. Okay.
Let's see what I would have rolled.
I'm 7, I'm sure.
32. All right.
Oh yes, we're bringing it home. That's right, we're done.
Yes.
So,
I'm coming home.
we have a question. The Myconid was summoned by Zugmoy. Does he go back, or does he, because we've done this 2 different ways for next time. Is he still available as the champion, or he has to leave and we have 2 new champions?
I thought he has to leave.
Okay.
Who did we keep? Did we mess up and keep somebody?
I think the Charon, was it the Charon Demon or someone? I thought we did. Yeah, okay. The Myconid goes away. I'm going with the Myconid.
Because he's on a special mission.
Right, he's going away. That's right.
Yeah, he's not. He was doing other stuff.
Right, that's right.
He's not like an ant that you like move and you drop down and then just starts moving along somewhere. Or like those people in those video games, like when you build an amusement park, you pick up and you just drop them and they go.
Yeah.
He was just sent on, unless his deity got bored and forgot to bring him back.
I would think. Well, this guy's pretty good. Why would Zugmoy leave him out here?
Yeah.
He's a killer. All right. So next time, 2 new people. Howdy.
And you know what I got out of that was the idea of a T-shirt, Fungus Man. Now, definitely with the Errol Otis artwork. Now we can't do that because we'd have to get Errol Otis to draw a new one.
Or we can just.
Right?
It depends if he still has the rights to his artwork.
Well, can he? Well, let's not get into that. Whether he can draw. Yeah, so he can't even draw the Fungus Man. Yeah, you may be right.
Or maybe he has rights.
Sure, it's Wizards of the Coast.
It could. We're not sure who owns this picture because he did quote him. I mean, it's maybe he doesn't own. Maybe he owns the print.
Maybe
he owns the master.
Maybe he had a good lawyer.
Right.
Negotiating.
I would hope so. How many hit points did the porcupine had? He had 19 to start, but 9 was taken by the Uslagoy, whatever thing was called, and then he got whacked by the thing. Oh, Vic Dorsa says Earl Otis would be a great guest. He would be a great guest, wouldn't he?
You know what would be awesome is if on the 40th anniversary of the release of Deities and Demigods and his iconic cover appeared on the show, like around August 15th. Gary said that Deities and Demigods was due to be released August 15th, 1980 in bookstores.
Right.
In stores. And so, we're beating around the bush here. But
that would be amazing if he said yes to coming on August 15th. Earl Otis. That would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that would be amazing if there was correspondence with Earl Otis and during that conversation there was an agreement that he would be thinking about coming on August 18th. That would be great.
15th.
15th, August 15th.
Oh, it's all hypothetical.
Right.
Anyway.
This is all nonsense. I mean, we're not.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. But
Yeah.
we don't like to announce things because it's hypothetical before it's time. So probably we would be doing this. We probably would announce this hypothetical thing closer to late July, after the tournament, because then we would know for sure this hypothetical thing would happen. Correct?
Correct.
Excellent. All right. Now we're on the spell selection.
Oh, it's happening. Oops. It's happening. I screwed the pooch.
Well,
Okay.
this random encounter screwed the pooch again. So
As usual. Yeah. All right.
What-
Let's do. All right. Spell selection.
spell selection. Let's make it happen. Roll percentages,
All right.
Dan.
I'm rolling percentages.
Now this is the time you want to roll high.
I know, right? I really want an illusion spell.
Oh, then you want to roll low twice.
Oh. Wait. Oh, we're low. I rolled a 90.
All right, now
I
you.
feel like I got to show you.
Well, now you have
all my
a.
rolls.
Now you don't have to show me. That means you got a clerical. Now we have to see if it's druidical.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
So it's 25% druidical, if I remember correctly.
93.
I think that's druidical. It could be.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know.
So the high is.
I always change this. We're using the scroll rule. And I go back and forth on how to do that.
We're in the forest, so druid makes sense.
And we were talking about what? The Celtic deities?
Correct.
Right. So that kind of blends in.
And tonight's game has a Celtic theme, so.
Well, the first part was correct. Second part, what'd you roll for the second roll?
93.
Yeah, sorry, that's not a druid roll.
Okay.
Druid's
I
1
like
to
cleric.
25. All right.
Okay, so
Roll-
7 levels.
Yep.
So you want to roll a die 8?
I will roll a d8. 1.
Okay. In my territory.
Yes, you should know these. Roll d12. Just
You
you
got
know
it.
what? Pretend you're the
Okay.
cleric. Figure out what spells you want to do.
Exactly. I like to randomly roll. Okay. I've rolled an 11. Resist cold.
Okay, this made up for the 2-hour dissertation on the other one. So
This doesn't sound interesting, but let's find out.
So resist cold on page 44 is our random spell selection.
So level 1, it's a touch spell. Duration 1 turn per level.
Takes
Verbal, semantic, and material.
a round to cast.
One round to cast. So yeah. So well, let's read it and then we'll talk about it. When this spell is placed on a creature by a cleric, the creature's body is inured to cold. The recipient can stand 0 degrees Fahrenheit without discomfort, even totally nude.
So isn't that called alcoholism? Because like
Yes, this is basically the
at the
equivalent.
Packers games where you see them all or half naked and they're at Lambeau Field and it's 20 degrees below zero and they're out there.
Yes.
That's alcohol.
Correct. But the good news is you don't suffer the other ill effects.
Gotcha.
Greater cold, such as that produced by a sword of cold, ice storm, cold wand, or white dragon's breath, must be saved against. Oh, so greater cold. So resist cold is not going to help you against certain things, unfortunately.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I know. I always stop reading, right? And then the very next sentence is something useful. All saving throws against cold are made with a bonus of +3 damage. Okay. And damage sustained is 1/2 if the saving throw is not made. Oh, so that is nice. Or 1/4 if it is made. Normal from that attack form. The resistance lasts for 1 turn per level of experience of the caster. A pinch of sulfur is necessary to complete this spell. So like many of the other, or at least some of the other clerical spells, this sounds like one where you need to know what combat you're heading into.
Right.
Right, and do it in advance.
And it's interesting why resist cold is first level, but resist fire is second level.
I guess it's easier to resist cold.
Why wouldn't they just have resist cold and fire reversible? You can pick.
Oh yeah, it isn't reversible. Well, would reversible be cause cold?
Well, yeah, make you
Like I'm freezing.
susceptible to cold.
Is it? Man, why is it so cold in here?
It's just drafty. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't actually cause you any damage. You're just very uncomfortable.
I think there's a chill. What's chill? Isn't that a cantrip in the book?
Are you guys cold?
I think there's a chill, right? That chills drinks or something, if I remember correctly.
You could use
book that
so
shall
you
not be
cast it,
named.
but it's a creature.
Yeah.
So I don't think you could just touch a glass. So you'd have to touch, and you have to touch somebody. So you touch somebody, and yeah, I think the reversible should be cause cold. Don't you think?
Yes, cause codes would be cool.
Would you have like a cold, like it seems to me that both. So you and I encounter each other for the first time,
In months.
in months, and here my nose is running. Your allergies, what the heck?
Yeah, that's not
Talk
good.
about cause cold.
I think it was probably the encephalitis we got from the mosquitoes that bit us in the 3 minutes we were standing outside.
True. So, have you ever used or had a player use the spell resist cold?
I know we've used resist fire. I don't know if we've used resist cold. I'm sure, and again, it's one of those, like you said, it's very situational. This would be, depending on the type of campaign you had, where the clerics during their downtime, they run off and they just write scrolls. They become scroll factories. And they carry around their scroll of 7 spells with resist cold. They're going to go attack the white dragon or the brown mold, right? Brown mold, yellow mold. What's the mold that sucks all the heat out and causes cold damage, if I remember correctly? I think it's brown mold.
Wait, so
that's
you're
the stuff
saying
that Vic Dorso used on us and killed us. Or if you had a cold campaign, some of the folks are like, well, if you had a cold campaign, then that would be good.
Like G2 would be helpful.
Yep.
I assume, right? So are you saying that, like in the market square, there's like a cleric, and he opens up his robe, and he's like, I got some spells. And like, all right, what do you got? I got resist cold. And you're like, oh, come on, man. Resist cold? I'll give you like a copper piece for that. Because it's not, right? Why am I going to spend all my time writing resist cold? How am I going to sell those? I need to head north. I guess I head north?
Well, if you have to be in a ski resort, kind of thing.
Oh, yes. So, yes. So that's, I'd have to head up there. Yeah, because otherwise.
Or you want to go see the white dragon, or something that emanates cold. I'm sure there's other things that just suck heat out. I remember brown mold. I'm sure there's another one. And that would be part of the, we have people climbing Mount Everest with Sherpas and all these other people, and, they make it as comfortable as they can. They would be like, oh, we can make this, you want to climb Mount Everest? No problem. Cast resist cold on you, and you walk up and down. I'm sure it takes more than an hour.
Package deal.
Right, exactly.
With this, you get 2 resist cold spells.
Right.
It's like all right, I'll take that. Yeah, it's like it's a better package.
Right.
The gold coin package, the gold piece package.
Right, I want the full platinum, a carried and resist cold. Why should you be in discomfort when you're on top of the mountain?
Right. Okay.
Like we've talked about, would this be a spell? Well, you'd pick the spell. Would this be a spell that I would purposefully select, not randomly select? And the answer would be...
Like you're in the desert.
No. Yeah, that's right. When you're playing in the Porcelain Sword of Queen Ashala and you randomly roll resist cold, even though it's like a desert theme.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, I think this is for the cleric who's heading north. He's like, oh, I got a business trip.
Or south, really south.
Really south. I got a business trip.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
I would never pick it over Cure Light Wounds. And in fact, if you did pick it, even if it was in like a cold situation, you'd have other characters looking at you with some disdain.
Oh yeah. They've been happy. Okay, so as is true for many clerical spells, or some, it's pretty situational.
Well, and this is where some folks, some DMs, I know some of the folks on here, allow the cleric to kind of have some latitude in when they cast the spell, that they can pick one, which again is not the way it's written in the first edition, but that if you allow some latitude, then this is you pick at the time of casting as opposed to pick at the time of memorization.
Right. Now, obviously, resist fire is better because I just think that there's more things that are causing. Typically, you encounter things that are going to cause fire damage more.
Right.
Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But why is the magic more important to be second level? That just seems like pretty cheesy. It's not like it's a more complicated spell. It's just more useful. which kind of
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Should just be resist cold, resist fire, first level spell.
Oh, we forgot. We need to look. My guess is there is nothing.
You think there's probably a 3 or 4 page
Yeah,
explanation?
no, I don't. No. You know why there's not. You know why there's not?
Because no one used the spell.
Yeah. So that means if no one's using it, no one's abusing it.
True.
Yeah. I mean, what's the odds he's got to write something up on resist cold? All right. So
Nothing.
at page 40 what? Oh, I'm sorry. 41.
Yep, on the
if
DMG.
It's anywhere?
Yep, it's not. It's silent.
No, it's not.
The book is silent on this.
It's not. Oh, look, but there, you know what? Detect evil. Basically, the degree of evil. Faint, moderate, strong, overwhelming. Oh, there's 4 categories.
Yes.
Faint, moderate, strong.
And-
So I was actually, when I told you guys the white was moderate, I was actually at like the second to the bottom. There's 4. I always thought I was in the middle. And it's gloating. It's general nature. Gloating. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
you were fine with it. You actually, I thought, was on the absolute scale.
Right.
And again, for those who don't remember, now we're like self-referencing old. Have we come to that point where we're referencing previous shows? But that's it. So, a classic in our joint D&D game, we played B2, Keep of the Borderlands. There's a white. The paladin. I think I'm playing the paladin. Tries to detect evil. Dan dutifully looks in the book and says, by the way, we're first or second level.
When you had to tell me, because I think you said, well, Dan,
Right.
I get to know what
What's-
level. There's these
what's-
different
right, strength
categories,
of
and we
evil.
looked it up. And you probably read the categories to me.
Right.
And what I did was I looked at the turning table,
Right.
right? So I went to, because I'm like, okay, so it's absolute. And I looked at the turning table.
Well, we
and
didn't know it was absolute. You said to yourself, moderate evil. We didn't know that was relative to that.
Right, because there's 12. Well, you should have known. You're the paladin. So there's 12. There's 12 categories, and it's 5th out of 12. And so I probably said, okay, 5th out of 12. That sounds to me like it probably would be in the 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably, it's a high 2, but it's in the 2 category, which would be moderate. It was touching toward the higher one, but it's not over the half line, right? So up to 6 would be like the 2, right? If you're doing the quartiles.
Right.
And so I just dropped it in what I said as you feel moderate evil. But you guys, here's the reality. Half the people at the table knew it was a white.
Yeah, but I knew it was
too.
a white, but I couldn't say it because I didn't want people to do that. So
Lane surely knew it was a white. He went back there.
Mm-hmm.
He knew. Come on, he knew B2 very well.
Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. So that's where the moderate evil came from. And so your T-shirts will be on the. We need to come up with our merchandise thing at some point. All right, let's see if Vic wants to get on. I know he wanted to get on, and the poor guy's been up since 2 in the morning. So let me add him. Vic, you ready? Just put something in the chat if you're ready to get on, and then we'll get you going.
An important announcement, of which we know nothing.
Right. We don't. He wants to make an announcement here. And again, I feel his tribute was substantial. So.
So you feel we owe it to him?
Well, it's not owe it to him. He's made the proper investment. So he clearly he's ready. Okay, I'll call you. He's made the proper the right supplication has been done, and. Who are we to deny him that? Where the hell did he go? I just clicked on him. God, this thing's awesome. Oh, there he is. Click. There we go. All right, we're calling Mr. Dorso. So for those who don't, Vic Dorso from Angry Dwarf Games is coming on. He's coming online. Let's get him ready. Oh, now I got to find. Well, Dan, I lost you, Dan, but.
Oh, you lost me.
No, you're here. You're here. You're just not on the. You're not on the. You're not on the screen.
All right, this is confusing. All right. There's Dan. I see Dan. Don't see James.
I got two Dans. I got two Vics. Well, it's nice knowing you, Dan.
I am not replacing you, Dan. I can't do this.
Please, I beg you. Did you just see the random encounter? Take my place, please.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna take those dice away from you. That's what I'm gonna do. No more of this. No more of this. Praying to the Jubilees or whatever.
I do need to replace the dice. Thank you so much for all that stuff. It looks awesome, Vic.
Oh yeah. There's more. Oh, did I show you this? You guys. My lair. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I hear James.
I'm here. I'm just getting moved. Okay, now I switch over. Okay, cool.
I see
Dorso.
smoke.
Mr. Dorso. Hey, how's it going? There we go. We got Vic on.
there we go. Oh yeah, I'm here.
So Vic, how you been?
Oh, tired.
You
Working
didn't-
my butt off.
You have.
Nobody else wants to work during COVID, but I have to.
That would be incorrect. I have an essential. I am an essential worker. We are trying to figure out ways to take all the money that our federal government is giving us and distributing it. So
Well, write a check to Angry Dwarf Games for consultation.
well, I think what happens is we have to build a website, and you have to fill out 400 pages of documentation, and then you may get $1,000. So,
oh yeah, it sounds like a government contract
Right.
that I've had to fill out or two.
exactly. So again, thank you, Vic, for these great gifts, great value. I know some of this is because we pledged, but a lot of this was extra because you're a fan of the show, and we appreciate it. And you've been so generous, so thank you for that. We really appreciate it, and we plan to give it away.
Problem.
We'll have to figure out how to get you on when we do the giveaway. So, what is the big announcement that you want to make?
Drum roll. Scourge of the North has decided to go to war.
Oh, so you're going to war? Okay, who are you going to war against?
I've declared war. Actually, it's. I've allied, of course, with the Empress Strangler.
Right.
And we've decided to go to war against the Brian. Is it Brian Herring? Let's see here.
I think there's a Steve Herring.
He's in
Brian Lynch,
Michigan.
right?
He's in Michigan. There you go. Steve Herring is going to be losing his Upper Peninsula of Michigan. The Empress Strangler has wanted it and asked me to contribute troops to her cause, and she's declared war.
Okay. Well, that's some controversy. I like it.
And in doing so, I've decided that I'm going to take northern Wisconsin because, hey, I got to cross that anyways to get over there. So.
All right. Well, first you're going to have to. Okay. So we understand your intentions, and you've come to the Grog Emperors and we appreciate your deference to come here and discuss that.
Yes.
And so I think initially you're going to have to make a move against. This is like diplomacy. You're going to make a move against northern Wisconsin. It is currently unclaimed. So
Right.
What that means is if someone wants to claim northern Wisconsin within the next month, you'll have to become a patron and claim it. If they don't, then clearly these ungoverned lands will fall to you since no one has claimed it.
Right.
Then the next month, you would then make your campaign against, you and this Empress Strangler would make your campaign against the northern Michigan area, which again is currently under the domain of the Viceroy over Michigan and the surrounding waters, his devout brilliancy Baron. So what we'll have to do is, we'll see what happens next month. Your armies are moving into there. Now, that does not include the free city of Lake Geneva, right? We do that.
Oh, no.
That's Holy Land.
I designated a line from the, let's see here. I wrote it down here. I designated a line from the point of where Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa come together across Wisconsin to Sheboygan, Wisconsin. So anything north of that line would be taken over by the Scourge of the
north of
Dwarf and the Emperor
Sheboygan.
Strangler.
So that is. Can you draft that up, Dan? The official rules of survey lines, as you know.
Oh, here I've already
Oh,
made it.
okay. Well, you'll be sending that. That's right. We have that. Excellent. Okay. Well, wonderful. So to our Grog Emperor, to the Grog Empire, there's some folks who are a little trying to figure out if they want to defend northern Wisconsin from this aggression. So
it's going to be like World War I. All the alliances, the whole world
That's
is
right.
going to be the whole Grog Empire.
That's right.
This is going to cause the whole Grog Empire to
Well,
be a
bribes
war.
have been known to be shipped to other.
Oh, that's what his plan was.
that's right.
That's what he's doing with his 3D
Of
printer and
course
all
he
this
is.
grogginess.
Hey, that's right. That's what
He's been building alliances.
This is, as we said, the scourge is more valuable than scourging. So
I've only got about 8 more of these sitting out and ready to go. So.
okay, so
He's very scourging.
So by next month, if you want to participate in the defense of, two things I'll have to do after we get through this. There is no, so the comments on the chat are, who represents the people of northern Wisconsin. So there is no champion of northern Wisconsin. So someone have to claim that, because the Scourge and the Emperor Strangler's armies have just crossed whatever that road is, across.
You mean the St. Croix River?
St. Croix River.
St. Croix and the Mississippi River.
They've crossed the St. Croix, and they've made their intentions known. And if you want to defend, send it to info@grogcon.com. I will get the declaration of war be sent through the official Office of War Adjudication, and if there.
Did you wait? Did he pay the fee? The declaration of war, I think, what it's like, it requires is a small filing fee. I think.
Well, that's two light up groggies. He's paid for.
Okay.
That's right. He's paid for that, but once he goes against international disputes, we may have to ask for more things, which apparently he's working on his next work. Do you have enough to talk about that yet, Vic? Your next module?
Which one are you talking
I don't know.
about?
Which one? What's your next work that we can be bribed?
Well, I am in negotiations right now with a certain original Grognard.
Mm-hmm.
So if this person, I talked to Dan a little bit about it. Dan, you know who I'm talking about. And if that works out, what the plan is, I plan on getting 5 authors together and making a book of modules, a yellow spine book, just like the like the Dungeoneers, or like the original, the original books, and putting it together for people. And that will be my next Kickstarter. Everybody's working on their modules as we speak. Within the next 60 days, I hope to see everybody's put together and sent to me so that I can assemble it in a book. And at that time, if everything comes together, it'll be a little shocking, I think, to everybody across the board. So
awesome. Well, we're looking forward to that. And and for folks who did not participate in the Kickstarter, can they still keep a Blood Red Falls through?
Sure.
How do they do that?
Just send me an email at vicdakota, VICDAKOTA @gmail.com, and they can pick one up for $25, and that'll include all the shipping and everything.
Oh.
I'll send it to them. I even got a few signed ones left, and the discs, which I've found that have come as something that nobody's ever thought of before, because I also include player maps and the Dungeon Master maps on there, so that you could put it on like Roll20 and stuff.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's super cool. That's
people are saying that it's that's something that they really like. So
Oh, no.
people are mentioning how we're going to figure out the adjudicate the thing. So this is 1985. This is right at the borderline between 1.5. So here's what I've declared. So you've made your intentions. We accept that these are your intentions and will not stand in the way, but we are here to adjudicate that. So I think we're going to use Discord. We'll create a Grog Empire channel, and if you want to either defend or support the Scourge on his overtaking of northern Wisconsin, which does that include Milwaukee, or is that south of Milwaukee?
No, that's south of there.
That's south of there. So Milwaukee is safe.
Yeah, you can have that garbage pile.
Yeah, so that's well, yeah, you're getting close to the Free City of Lake Geneva if you're getting at that point. So
well, I figure I don't even want to set foot in the Free City of Lake Geneva. It would cause too much of an uproar.
Yeah, you would be Thanos at that point. It would be all the Avengers would have to come together and to do that. But we will put this on Discord. We'll probably set up a Grog Empire channel. I will put the declaration of war that actually you really need two things. You have a declaration of occupation, your intent to occupy, and then a declaration of war because you're going after the northern Michigan area, the waters of northern Michigan.
So I got to write another declaration of occupation, huh?
Yes, exactly. Yes, it is diplomacy. So I'm going to look at the diplomacy rules or Kingmaker. You pick what the rules are going to be, and then we will figure that out. That's assuming that Vic doesn't bribe us more.
Now hold it here.
Yes, sir.
Remember, it's the Empress Strangler that I'm giving these lands to. When I'm done, she's going to have northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan. I'm giving them to her to administer or adjudicate. I'm just
you're still busy in Montana and on the other side. So.
Yeah, Minnesota, North Dakota. That's good enough for me.
Right.
You know.
You've pacified those lands, and now you're moving across. So.
Right. Well, I'm just giving a little support, you know.
Oh, he just needs some breathing room. Okay, great. Right. That's wonderful. Great. We'll see if we'll see if our empire is as passive, and in fact some of the people are already saying they're going to do a joint peacekeeping mission and a resolution against we're going to sanction him.
And what's your alignment, Vic?
Oh, I'm always chaotic. I just don't know.
Oh, we knew that. What's the next part?
I don't know if it's good or neutral.
Discord.
Oh, really?
All right. Well, we will set this up. We will set up a Discord. So if you have suggestions for the rules of how we adjudicate these things, we need to do that. But for now, if no one comes to the aid of the non-aligned Northern Michigan, by this time after the tournament, they will be, the poor, innocent, defenseless Northern Wisconsinites will fall under the reign of tyranny that is known as the Scourge, and then ultimately turned over to their new overlord, Mistress Strangler. A War Machine. Okay, D&D Companion set. I'll have to check that out. I've never used that. Okay, and that's 19. That's in the appropriate time. Okay, excellent. I like this. So please go out to Discord. It's in the things. Sign up for that, and this is where we can figure out the machinations of that. And what time frame do you think your Kickstarter is going to start? When do you think you're going to start that?
I'm going to wait to see what everybody submits. I'm hoping everybody has everything in 60 days. So within 90 days, I assume that I will be kicking that off. I've already been in negotiations with the book binder, and I'm getting quotes on that stuff as we speak. So it just depends on how many pages everybody is submitting. I've told everybody to submit 20 to 30 pages of adventure so that we can combine them. So, and it's still open if somebody else has something already made. I sort of want to try to do this every 6 months where we have a book come out of first edition adventures of stuff that people have. So, I'm taking a little different route that Carlos has got, but, there'll be other modules coming out there that are independent of that are my own creation. So.
Well, that's, and we really appreciate both you and Carlos, you want to keep first edition going, and, that's obviously the game we love. So anything we can do to support that is always super fun. So, but anyway, very good. Like I said, we've got a couple more things. So we're going to talk about White Dwarf and Dragon magazine. So Vic, thank you so much. We have accepted, and again, this stuff is, it's hard to show on the camera, but What? Why don't you describe this? This is the gray groggy.
All right.
And basically, what you're supposed to put orange dice, D20. It's a guardian.
I put an orange one in there. You can put any color you want, but what happens is it just shines up through and it lights it up just like the front of the player's handbook, which is like this. It just lights it up sort of just like this, and so that people, got the same effect. It's a modification on the big groggy that's behind you there. That's got the flame. So it looks pretty cool.
It's perfect, and it just needs to be painted. 3 of them you primed gray, and the other one's white, so you can go either way, right?
Right.
It looks super cool. Well, very good.
I think Brian Larch has one. I know I sent one to Brian Larch, and there's one for Dan, and he can put it on his desk when he gets back to school and freak out his students.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Oh, what the heck?
Oh, come on. They already think you're. Who are you? What was the thing on your Zoom that you said you were?
Oh, I was Brother Hearthstone.
Brother Hearthstone, yeah. So.
Yeah, I kept it in Zoom because I was on Carlos's game, and so I appeared at a Zoom meeting as Brother Hearthstone.
Yeah,
so.
That's all. It's all good. All right, Vic. Well, thank you, sir. It's great talking to you. And yes, we will work this out after we get through today. Oh, that's right. So now there's 3 people involved with this because.
Oh, great.
Now, because Shannon of the Masters Most Ejected Suzerain of Bruce County up in Canada, he has claim to Lake Huron. So we're gonna have to figure this out. We're gonna have to put a map out there.
Well, see, hey. Let me just make a little message to the Baron of Bruce County. If we work together on this, you won't have to have any disputed waters. We can have free navigation. I'll take Lake Superior, part of Lake Michigan, and you take Huron, and we've got free navigation. Then he is not going to be able to stomp us down with our ships.
This is perfect. Yeah, we need to, so this will all be on the Discord, and yes, we are your typical impotent emperors who kind of just see and we're just here to go. Oh, that's right.
Impotent empire.
Yeah,
okay.
we just keep bringing us goods and pretending that we're in charge. That's what this is about. So it is coming.
Well, I'm running out of ideas of what to send you next.
That's right.
I'm sort of like, what do I send you next? Though I do have one thing I'll show you guys that I built. Hold on one second.
All right, we'll see that. It is becoming international. Impotent umpires, exactly. Well, there's some medication that will help.
Now, this is one of my latest
Oh, that's
creations.
cool. Can people see that?
It is a 3D dice tower with a dragon's mouth, and you drop it in top, the dice come out the dragon's mouth. It fits over the top of like a dice tray, and then I put of course I put up
compass.
Here a compass or something. But I was thinking about being able to take shields, like from the GROGTALK thing, and being able to put somebody's shield up here.
Oh, that would be super cool.
Yeah, so I'm working on this. This isn't quite perfect yet, as you can see. I've just taped it, but yeah, the dragon's mouth works just perfectly. The dice come rolling out and stuff like that. So my kids love it.
That's very cool. That would be that would make a good Christmas gift if we're still alive for Christmas at this point. It's always kind of.
Oh, maybe I'll make one for the GROGTALK giveaway for Christmas.
That would be awesome-tastic.
That would be the ultimate one. So
that would be very cool.
You guys could see how many patrons you guys got rounded up by then.
Exactly. Well, sir, say hello to the Empress for us. We're gonna try to get done. I don't know, 3 o'clock, so we have 2 hours before we go to the next nonsense. So. Vic, it's always a pleasure talking to you, and we will. But it's on now, so I've got to. Hey, between you and Dan, you guys keep me very busy. Got to set up a Discord. I've got to figure out. We'll probably go with diplomacy. We'll probably do a modified diplomacy. I'll have to lay out the map, and you guys can establish your armies, and it's going to be super cool. I think this is going to be great because it'll be a lot of fun.
Now remember, since I declared, we've made a preemptive
Oh,
strike.
absolutely. You have
So,
the advantage. Without it,
Yes.
for northern Wisconsin, you clearly have, you've crossed, you've taken, what is that, the province in France when the Germans took that, or the Rhineland in Czechoslovakia. You've moved ahead of your if any competitors you have, they have to react to that. But
Right.
but you have made it known that this is not your final intent. Your intent is for parts of Michigan, and so that part they are moving. Or yes, it could be Poland. That's right. So that's the part we're looking at now. Is unless they come up with a huge alliance, it's very unlikely you're going to be, or a champion arises from northern Michigan and provides a sufficient patron thing.
Well, remember, my supply line's only 25 miles to northern Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It's like right there.
Right.
So.
It's very unlikely at this point, but but we don't want to deprive anyone who wants to become a patron from northern Michigan to do that. So, but
Right. Oh, then I'll just do the U.S. Army Pacific Plan or U.S. Marine Pacific Plan. I'll just skip around and make an island and just keep going.
Exactly. Well, sir, it's great talking to you. We'll look forward to seeing those books. Yeah, it'll be over by Christmas. That's exactly right. Well, this is a summer campaign. This is the time to get involved with these kind of shenanigans. So we will see you next time, and I will put this up after we get through today's session. I'll start working on that. So it's great talking to you again. Thank you so much for the swag box. It's awesome. You did an awesome job, and I'm looking forward to
the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. We loved supporting your Kickstarter, and we can't wait to support another one. And we still owe you some money for those books, which I'll have to do a PayPal or something to you. Do you have PayPal?
Yeah.
Okay,
fine.
we'll do.
Whatever
I'll do
want to
PayPal and I'll send it. We'll talk this week.
I can do the same.
Yeah, it's no problem.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, Vic.
All right, thanks,
We'll talk
Vic.
to you later.
Yep.
Bye. All right, cool. We're back.
I was glad you decided to take on the mechanics of that, because I was just going to suggest each side roll the d20.
Well,
That- I,
what's available in Western Pennsylvania? I think pretty much everything's available in Western Pennsylvania. I think only West Virginia and the Appalachia is, obviously one of our dear friends, DM Brian. So it depends what you mean. This is what's so fascinating, right? We live in the world today with GPS, and we can have accuracy to the meter. But in our thing, now it's like, I don't know, Western whatever. Yeah, sure. Now we have disputed lands and territories.
now we need to know.
Oh, trial by champions too. That is a very good point. Maybe we'll do that instead of having armies attack.
Oh yes, that would be cooler, right?
Yeah.
But then you would need to know, would we have to create their characters?
Well, it's random random characters.
Random characters.
Random champions.
Or we could create, like, what would Vic be? Like, he's an angry dwarf.
Right.
We could create an angry dwarf.
Yep, and then that would be. I like trial by champions. That's good too.
People might get their feelings hurt, though,
Thank you,
if we
sir.
created their characters. Like, hey, my charisma's better than a 7. Nah, I don't think so. But
Well, so we've gotten some ideas. Well, anyway, we'll come up with some ideas. Each territory gets a random monster champion. I like that.
I like that. That's a
Or
good one.
point buy. They get so many points, and they can give them an opportunity to pick their champion. Mm-hmm. There's a couple options for that. So we'll have to figure it out. Since obviously Vic's aspirations are larger than the Empire can provide, and now he's.
Yeah, this is not going to end. Yeah, this is going to be a long term. I think this is going to be long. I don't think Vic's going to stop with just, he wants to dominate the whole world. I think he's going to try to take Lake Geneva at some point. I don't think he realizes it, but I think he is.
I think he will, and then we'll see the resolute of the Grog Empire. I sense.
No, you know what happened? No. When he takes Lake Geneva, tries to take Lake Geneva, that's when we pull this out.
We're gonna throw the book at him.
Well, deities and
Yeah.
demigods. The whole book, every deity in here. All right. Okay. Are we? So we're going to talk about Dragon Magazine. I think we have to because we're going to run out of the month, right? If we don't talk about the June edition of Dragon Magazine, and we're going to talk about White Dwarf as well, right? If we have the June, July.
We're gonna let's do Dragon first.
Okay. So I know you've got it in front of you, so you let me know what you see in there. I can tell you my thoughts.
Let me get that fired up here so people can play at home.
As most of our listeners may know, we've been going through the Dragon and White Dwarf magazines from 40 years ago, each one from the specific month. So it's June, of course, so we thought we'd talk about Dragon Magazine. I believe it was number 38.
It's Dragon 38, yep.
From June, and there's also White Dwarf. I'm trying to remember the White Dwarf number, which is a June, July edition. I think it may have been 19 from June and July. And I can tell you, right? Was it White Dwarf 19? I can't remember.
White Dwarf is, I feel like it's 19. I feel that's correct. White Dwarf 19, yes.
Okay.
So,
and you want to talk about Dragon first?
Yeah, let's talk about Dragon first, because that's the one that's this month. If we don't get it done, we miss out on that.
Okay. I don't remember there being a sage advice in this edition. Do you remember
I don't.
a sage advice? Which is interesting, isn't it? Where's sage advice?
Right. So it's showing up on the screen. Let's scroll down. Dragon 38, we have the cover. I'm trying to keep everything open here. This is good. There's a lot of controversy about this, so.
I thought the cover was okay. It's not, I'm more a fan of the covers from like 82, 83,
yeah,
I think.
It's okay. It's like a Conan when they're young kind of ripoff. I'm not sure. Or maybe I'm sure it's some other fantasy, and then people are like, you idiot, you don't know what you're talking about. It almost looks like Beast, what was it? What was that? Beastmaster? What was that?
Wasn't there a game Beastmaster? The guy was holding a
right,
skull?
The skull. I was talking about the, I don't know, does it say what this thing is? So the first thing you see is a special 5th anniversary module for S3, Expedition to the Barrier Peaks.
I was confused by that. 5th edition, is it that old?
Apparently the original must have been written for Origins 2, which was apparently 1975.
Wow, so I did not realize that S3 was that old.
So, and that's interesting because that would be OD&D. So Expedition to the Barrier Peaks was really an OD&D module, which makes a lot of sense. Remember when we talked to Jim Ward and he mentioned the kind of the crossing of the streams when it came to stuff like that?
Yeah, and I remember we also, I think with Ed Greenwood, where I'd mentioned his article on gunfire, using guns, and he'd said that, because I'd mentioned it was controversial to some, and he'd mentioned how that's really old school, that you do stuff like that. So yeah, so that was news to me. Yeah.
So then there's a overview of the contents cover to cover, and then we get to the continued discussion. So we're going cover to cover, and it's a very long thing from Jake Jaquette about what's on here. And they talk about the transition of TSR publication to, to the Dragon, what is it called? TSR periodicals now become Dragon Publishing.
Yeah, continue to emphasize this theme of independence, if I recall correctly, right? Trying to, and I think it was accurate. So because they have competitors' advertisements in there. Right. They really were trying to be a very separate and independent from the team. They didn't want to be as I think they said that Tim Cass said they didn't want to be the house organ for TSR, and I think they were pretty effective with that, showing that Gary Gygax, as we know, is upset with the sage advice that had come in prior issues. So
yeah. Are you still there? Nope. Oh, you're there. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm there. Oh yeah. No. So I'm depending on you because you've
Oh,
got
I'm sorry.
the
Yeah, you
addition.
can't. So now I'm on Out on the Limb. So this is the first one we found funny. Page 4. The title is Official D&D. And dear editor, so you first start reading this. 2 points which I must bring up regarding material in Dragon 35, March, which is 3 months ago. And you start reading this. In her Sage Advice column, Jean Wells states that a magic user can cast spells while one of his or her hands is engaged in holding an object, dagger, wand, staff. The broad affirmative must be modified.
Yeah, so this person's very upset.
Right.
So this writer, this is someone who is, right? So these are letters, correct? So this is somebody, a reader of Dragon Magazine, is upset with Jean Wells saying that you can possibly cast a spell one-handed while holding a dagger.
And says after this that provided the spell has no material components, exclamation point. It is also true if the spell has no somatic component, of course. However, any spell with V, S, and M requires the caster to have both hands free. In parentheses, this is official D&D. Who is this person who's so presumptuous to make these declarative statements?
And didn't this person, did he put sage advice in quotes?
He did.
Do you remember at the beginning?
He put in quotes in her sage advice column.
Right. Yeah. Who is this guy? And of course.
Well, so then you keep moving down. I wish to make some clarifications, comments. I wish to make regarding. So I'm reading this. Slings. They talk about slings and bows and how the Mongols use them. Like, what?
Very detailed about the weaponry.
and the bow never dominated Europe, and it talked about how that was important in English, French, and Scottish history. And you're going on and on about how the crossbow was dominant in Europe, but then in other areas. And you're just thinking to yourself, boy, this person's pretty presumptuous. Then it talks about Alexander and the Aztecs and the Incas. Then he finally finishes, whatever the weapon I use, I'm more and more convinced that the morale of the troops was usually the deciding factor in battle. There's other factors, of course. We have historical proof of just how much better that weapon was. This relates to the English longbow. Lack of archer's bow and training were all prevented such occurrences, and then you find out who the person who wrote it. Gary Gygax, Lake Geneva. So let me get this straight. He had to write a letter to his own magazine? Does that make sense?
Because he is listed, I believe at the beginning, he is listed as the publisher.
Yes.
So although,
yes, he is.
So it's designed to be independent of TSR and not the House Organ, but he is a publisher. This is what interests me. So is Gary not reviewing? I think clearly not. He's not reviewing the sage advice answers, right? So Jean Wells, right? How would you like to be Jean Wells? Yeah. So you're Jean Wells. How are you feeling?
Well, and this is before the B3 debacle, right? The old Silver Princess one, right? This is before B3.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, so how are you feeling?
I'm feeling like I just got shafted. But of course, we've read where, I've been told that this is correct. Remember that infamous one that we read before?
Yes, and
on Rangers.
And someone just posted on our episode 6 where, she goes back and asks, about Lawrence Schick says there is an official answer on how long ghoul paralysis lasts. So people are this is very loose. And so, my recollection from her response was that it was possible. I thought she did qualify it about, I don't know that she said, yes, you only need one hand. I thought that she qualified it as basically, if you can otherwise do it. So, I didn't find it all that objectionable, but really, the real story is not whether you need one hand. I don't know, maybe that is the real story. But for some of us, the more interesting story is that Gary is, he's not happy with the sage advice. So nothing more so than this.
Right.
shows you that sage advice. If you ever say, is sage advice official? Is it canon? You need only say dragon number 38. Do you not? And what's great about it is he says this is official. Right? He's making it quite clear, which, you know. So and I feel kind of bad for I know who she's now passed, but I feel kind of bad for Gina, and she's going to get more heat.
Oh yeah.
On the Paladin, right? In another,
This is not good enough.
In the source. This is not the Sorcerer's Scroll.
Correct.
So Gary's like, I'm going to write a letter, and I'm going to write an article, and I'm going to divide up my issues that I have. But you know, good for Gary that he's still involved with sort of these. I mean, he loves the game. He wrote the game, and he's obviously very interested in the answer. Right? This is a guy who cares. Right? Wouldn't you agree? This letter exudes, I care about whether or not. I don't think this is Gary trying to be like, oh, who does she think she is? I think this is Gary very much caring about whether or not a magic user can cast a spell with one hand, don't you think?
Which again is pretty amazing. It'd just be interesting how that would be done 40 years later. Right now, would he do a tweet with that?
Right.
Would this be done on Instagram kind of thing? Because literally, it's like, okay, what? First of all, did he read it in the dragon and went, how the heck did this get in here? No, I gotta write something.
Yeah, he's in the restroom.
That's right.
He's got the Dragon magazine. He's reading it.
Trying to catch up on some back issues, and all of a sudden he's like, what?
You hear Gary scream.
This is not it.
In the bath. Are you okay, Gary? What's wrong? Sage, what magic is, or one hand, what? So, yeah, so that is, and they were housed. Dragon magazine was housed at a different place, right? I think Dragon magazine.
I think you're right.
I think it was at the older place, right at the original.
That's right.
So yeah, so that was interesting. So that's notable. Of course.
So then we have the story of the Cup of the Golden Death, which we've said before. We don't read fiction, so.
I do not read. I skip over those. I skip over anything non-first edition.
I apologize.
And anything that's fiction.
So then we have Len LaKafka, who yet again has to tweak something in the rules. And again, I find that interesting. I hopefully, if we ever talk to him, it's like, did people get mad at him for constantly, basically trying to extend and tweak the game, or was like, whatever?
Well, what I thought was interesting about this was on dragons, correct? Yes. And people love to have additional dragons with additional colors, and so I think this is another orange dragon, because somewhere else I used an orange dragon, and I think it was in a different one, and here's another orange dragon. Right. And you know what's interesting about this? So I was reading The Best of Dragon, and one of the articles published in there, I don't think it was this one, but was complaining that dragons are too easy. Yes. And this seems to be Len's theme here too, right? So dragons would, I think in the article in The Best of Dragon, they would use their wings to knock over people. Right. And so it's interesting, was that your sense too? There seems to be a fair amount of people.
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this, later they would call this, I don't know when this became in game design, that this idea of the action economy. So dragons are formidable, but so let's say you take the weakest, not, a one hit dice white dragon or whatever, 5 hit dice, 1 hit point, young, junior dragon that has 5 hit points. Let's say the normal white dragon, he's got 25 hit points, or 30 hit points. And you get breathed on it, yes, if it wins initiative and breathes on the party, that could be devastating. And yes, it gets 2 or 3 attacks, and it's, whatever, claw, bite. The challenge is, it only gets that one action. After that, the party gets 5 attacks on a large creature. So if half of them hit, and they have magic weapons and they have strength bonuses, a 5th level fighter who has a decent strength, let's just say 1830, that means he gets +3 damage. He has a +1 or +2 sword, and he's using a long sword. He's going to do 10 to 15 hit points of damage, easy. So within a round or two, this giant creature, which is legendary, survived hundreds of years, will be felled by 5 or 6 adventurers. It just doesn't feel epic. The fight is the problem. So that's why they started adding these additional things that the creature could do during its attack, because it's just, no matter how devastating its one attack is, it still only gets one attack than that. So it just, there have been many times, and if you use the basic rule for as far as damage against breath weapons, so in the basic, it says that the damage of the breath weapon is equal to the dragon's current hit point total. So the strategy is you run and beat up as much as possible, because if the breath weapon does, to its current hit points, and it had 30, and you do 25 in it, well, now it does 5 points of damage. It's not that scary, a breath weapon.
Yeah, and you've got, I think as Len pointed out, you got the chance of sleeping helps you too,
Right.
Correct? So you might be able to sneak up on them, and don't they at a certain point they concede, and you could subdue them, and
Well, that's the other big
So-
thing. Yeah, we never did subdual, but the way it's, I read it again, and it's right. You get a lucky roll. You take an ancient red dragon out, you do 20 points of damage, and there's a bad roll, and all of a sudden it's submitted to you, which, again, from a role-playing may be fun, because, of course, it's going to be looking for ways to get out, but that defeats this idea of this scary red dragon becomes pretty easy. Yep.
Yeah. So I thought that's what I thought was interesting about it, was just getting a sense of back at this time, there was this grumbling going on about dragons are too easy. So that's what I took from Len's article.
Well, and it's one later when I used to play the gold box games, my guys were 6th or 7th level. We'd be attacked by 4 black dragons at the same time, and we'd wipe them out, because
Yeah.
it was if you survive their breath attack. Now again, you get unlucky. It's an ancient red dragon with 88 hit points. Yeah, if you fail your save, that's pretty bad. Okay, then they talk about how to do miniatures, which we really don't do a whole lot. There was about tesseracts, which I'm not quite sure what that was about, why that was such an interesting thing of cubes and unfolding them. Did you read that article?
I did not. It looked very technical, and looked like it was going to make my brain hurt.
Then there was a top secret one, which again, I love top secret, but we don't play that. So I need to find the old rules for that. I would definitely run that. And Nick, our good friend, he's an administrator of that. We need to play in his game. That would be super fun. Then there's the Legends. Did you read that one? I don't remember. The Myvorians one on page 18?
I did not. No.
So we just skipped a lot of this. I like that there's a game for the game of nuclear confrontation. Maybe we can use this for Vic's taking over of that. Oh, here we go. Good isn't stupid. Paladins and Rangers and female dwarves do have beards. So this was the other part we were talking about. So Gary has an article in this thing, in this magazine.
This is the Sorcerer's Scroll, I believe. Is that right?
Yes, it is a Sorcerer's Scroll. So this is his standard, regular feature of dragon. And he kind of describes this idea of, which I think we all sometimes struggle with, which is good does not mean stupid. We've all seen the lawful stupid or the chaotic stupid, kind of people really leaning into their alignment and doing things that just seem dumb. The idea that the paladin is just going to run headlong into a type 5 demon because, it's ultimate evil and kill himself. So, go ahead.
And some of this, I think, also stemmed from sage advice, because if I recall correctly, and we had gone through these, I think, in prior issues, where somebody had said that the ranger was going to protect a wyvern.
Right.
Is that right? There was an injured wyvern?
So you're exactly right. So on sage advice...
Wyverns are bad. Are wyverns evil? They sounds like they must
So
be.
he's still in the same stage of. So he literally, two of the columns here that he wrote a letter, and then he wrote his Sorcerer Scroll based on the answers that were given in Sage Advice 2 months before.
Yeah, so he's right. So yeah, because the ranger and the DM felt that the ranger should protect this wounded wyvern. The party wanted to kill it. And I can't remember what Gene Wells' answer. I think it was a Gene Wells answer.
Well, there were two. The first one was the paladin, who someone wanted to be put to death because they didn't want to live anymore, and she was like, "Oh heavens, no! Why would a lawful good person would do that?" And fast forward, Gary doesn't say necessarily no, but there's a way. He says, "Remember that good can be related to reality oftentimes, but not always." And that, his version of it was, hey, from a utilitarian perspective, if he's converted, this troubled creature, he's not going to be evil anymore, and he's dead, he's going to get his reward. So Paladin would have no problem with that. Very almost Inquisition-like in a twisted way, which again, we would argue in our modern morality to be not great. Again, the logic is, if I was the worshiper of Thor and I conquered your village and I said, all right, Dan, you're going to die. We need you to convert to Thor, and we're going to torture you to do it. And once you said you did, and then we killed you, we'd be like, okay, you're going to see Thor now. Valhalla, congratulations. That's awesome. But we would
right. So the person who potentially could revert and be bad is gone. Right. They've gone to a better place, so it's a win, presumably for good all around.
That's the idea.
And the wyvern is neutral paren evil.
Parenthetical evil.
So the wyvern is, you should kill the wyvern, right? Because the wyvern it's a man-eating, parenthetically evil creature, right? And I think so. It's fine to take out the wyvern. So it strikes me as kind of, the sense I had was Gary saying, look, a paladin might be doing things that you view as evil, but really are utilitarian and achieve the ends of good. And so it's okay, and you'd expect the ranger and the paladin to do these things. Is that sort of the sense, that kind of the takeaway?
Right, exactly. And in between that, he also slams, quote unquote, critiques her comment that paladins couldn't marry. And she said, again, our sage advisor, in quotes, suggests a negative with that. And he basically says, why not? Why is that a problem? In other words, yes, the Catholic faith of a priest and monks had to be celibate, but they're not, all these good deities don't have to be that way. And so the other comment, which I thought was interesting, he says, this must, regarding marriage, this is a matter for common sense. And the DM, who, if not arbitrary, will probably agree with the spirit of AD&D and allow marriage and children. And here's a great quote. This must be a long-range campaign, or else its participants are preoccupied with unusual aspects of the game. No matter. Oh, again, almost a slam of, what are you guys playing? Where you've got prodigy, kings and kingdoms and generations, and what are you doing over there?
Hope it's not a one-off, right? Because then why are you talking about getting married? Yeah, if it's a one-off and someone's talking about marriage, can I get married? Yeah, that's not good. So so it was very interesting. It's and if I recall correctly, Gary said much of this in terms of what is proper behavior according to your alignment is dictated by your deity.
Which is, my position the whole time. Alignment makes no sense unless you have deities.
Right. So whether you would do a particular act, in large part, depends upon your. Obviously, if you're a paladin, to be sure, as well as a cleric, of course. So, I thought that was interesting. And this is all sort of the, is it okay to kill? So you've captured, orcs.
The kobold children, the orc children, the orc.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Gary's view would be you run them through. Don't you
without
think?
a doubt.
Because the kobold children are going to grow up to be kobold adults who are going to loot and pillage and torture. They're irredeemable. And it sounds like if you can redeem somebody, you redeem them and then you kill them while they're redeemed. So it's a darker kind of, approach to good. But it is, I guess a lot of it, look, it's your DM. You can have a Gene Wells style campaign, and I can't remember specifically your answers. I don't think they were black and white. But you can have a Wellsian style.
Yeah. They were pretty black.
Right?
I mean, they were pretty definitive that would be bad, and that's what he was saying. The writer claimed, it's just so funny. The writer claimed, it's your employee.
Yeah.
That his or her DM combined with a lawful good ranger to insist that a wounded wyvern was to be protected, not slain, and less attack the party. This is a classic case of players being told that lawful good equates to stupidity.
Does he say which one that is? I don't want to put you on the spot and ask you to pull that up if it's too difficult.
Which one?
The wyvern, the ranger wyvern controversy. Did she actually say? I'm trying to remember. So Gary's saying that she's agreed with the player.
Yes.
That you should protect.
Yes, she did. She did.
Okay, yeah, that. I mean, I guess that's right. I mean, you're neutral, so it's the parent evil which gets you. Is that right?
So his justification is to assert that a man-killing monster with evil tendencies should be protected by a lawful good ranger is pure insanity.
So the wyvern goes because the parent. So the wyvern's like, it's just a parenthesis. Come on, right. The wyvern's like, I'm neutral, and the ranger's like, no, wait a second. You gotta. There's a parenthesis.
That's right. I see the parenthetical evil.
So he says the parenthetical is, what did he say? It's tends toward evil?
To assert that a man-killing monster with evil tendencies should be protected by a lawful good ranger is pure insanity.
Okay, so we now know that the parenthesis, I mean, not that we didn't know, this means tendencies. Yes. So like the giant rat is neutral with evil tendencies. So if you get evil tendencies, so you're done. So if you're the paladin or a ranger or any good character, right? And you come across a creature that has evil tendencies,
right?
They should be dispatched. Right. Wounded, whatever, they should be dispatched.
Right, like rats. We don't sit here and go, rats have evil tendencies. Even if they didn't, if they're attacking you, you kill them.
Oh, I understand that, but I think the thing that gets more interesting is they're not attacking.
Right.
So you come upon the wyvern who is caring for her young.
Right.
Do you come up to like, yeah, we need to? Is the paladin like, we need to take care of this, or the ranger?
Right. Well,
I think it's
absolutely.
Yes.
I agree.
According to Gary. Okay.
Well, in this case, this creature was injured, if I remember correctly. That was this ranger to assist a wounded wyvern be protected. So, I guess there's three different versions of this. There is the wounded creature putting it out of its misery. Why is that an issue? Yeah, it's a, like he says, sparing a rabid dog, a rogue elephant, or man-eating tiger. Once it has the taste of human flesh, you're here to protect society. So that it's got to go, basically. So that's his thing. I think the part is back to I think the other side is also insanity. That literally every time you see an evil creature, because again, they're all over. Like if you were in the Invincible State, Invincible City State of Overlord, whatever it's called, I apologize.
Yeah, City State.
There are evil creatures all over the place. The paladin is just going to run around and be a homicidal maniac and murder everything that's in there. That's not going to work.
Well, so this is very interesting, right? Because Gary's talking about, this is a discussion of alignment. And I love alignment. I know a lot of people don't like alignment.
Too.
I like, because I think what it does is it helps guide players. So it helps you role play. It helps you identify what your morality is going to be and role play it. And so it gives you guidance. So the paladin, the lawful part. So the lawful part is interesting. So we know you can have a lawful neutral or lawful evil thief, correct? And the way it's explained usually is that they like hierarchy and order. They like this, so they succeed well in a guild. A guild is good for them. They don't freelance and they follow guild rules, but they break the law, of course. So lawful, if you think about it, lawful neutral. The neutrals are the most, I think, oftentimes the most interesting. Lawful neutral is all you care about is the most important thing. All that matters is law and order.
Right.
Would you agree that what is, and I know this is probably, I would say controversial. I mean, who cares, right? None of this is controversial. What's the purest good alignment?
Neutral good.
Right, I agree with that, correct? Because you're like, look, I don't care if it's law and order, I don't care if it's chaotic, whatever promotes good. So the minute you qualify, so is lawful good. So lawful good's kind of interesting. Lawful good is more qualified. So the paladin, what does the lawful part do for the paladin? Because it qualifies good now, right? Because you'd think that a paladin might be neutral good, but it qualifies it. So can you, I assume there's no law against killing wounded wyverns.
No.
Okay.
Well,
what if there is a law against killing wounded wyverns?
Well, it says here, the lawful perception of good dictates that the order which promotes the greatest good for the greatest number is best. Further postulates that this order brings results which erode the capability of bestowing good to the majority. Therefore, without law and order, it pales. So I would say, in that case, if there was a law saying you could not kill wyverns, at all, for whatever reason.
There's a Wyvern Protection Society, right. Whatever. There's like a group has gotten this passed.
Right. If the paladin had loyalty to the civilization there, right? They were, a vassal. They would obey the law. Absolutely, they would obey the law.
But they'd be unhappy.
Right.
About it because they think, right? They probably would. I think they could grumble,
Yes,
right? Because
they certainly would grumble.
Yeah, because they have an interest in laws that promote good, and they think that this is a very misguided law.
Right.
So is that what keeps the paladin from? So you find out that the owner of a particular bar is lawful, is evil, whatever, is neutral evil,
right.
And is I assume is let's say breaking the law. I mean, do paladins, are they vigilantes? So if there are laws to deal with people, let's start with simply being evil. So you find out that the owner of the bar is lawful
right.
evil. You would agree that the paladin cannot simply dispatch that person because the person. Okay. So now you've learned that they're an assassin.
Right.
Now, and they remember the Assassin's Guild, and that they've assassinated people. Now, I assume there's laws against murder. Do you think would most laws prohibit simply is the paladin breaking the? And I understand you need to know, well, what's the law? I get it, right? I mean, but in general, would you think that the law would prohibit a paladin from dispatching a member of the Assassins Guild?
Well, I would put
a human,
right.
or half-orc, like a citizen.
I would put it in the context of. We also have to contextualize it based in the time. If a paladin, this is where some of the book that shall not be named may be useful. If you perceive paladins to be part of the gentry class, the landed class, they have a different set of rules for the peasants. They're to protect the peasants, but they are an extension of the law. And if they know that this person is an assassin and they've murdered people, they would forcibly try to put them into custody. That clearly would be there would be their prerogative. And if that was not possible, killing them would be fine. And your life is forfeit because of the crimes that you did.
So a lot of it depends upon whether you've basically been deputized.
I would say by their nature they would be deputized. Again, using a more perverse thing. They're part of the feudal system. If they see serfs changing allegiance to another lord, and that's against the feudal system, they would totally murder them because they are breaking their oath with the vassals are breaking their oath. They would be oath breakers. They would have no problem with that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, so like a lawful evil orc. I mean, orcs, I assume there's no problem because they're not protected. No law, right? No civilized law is going to protect
Well,
orcs. You're not going to have.
in your traditional lawful good kingdom, they would not have standing to your words. But in the city-state of the Invincible Overlord,
right,
they would have standing.
Yeah, I mean, there's trolls that own a bar.
Right, they
would
whatever, have standing.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, and Aurelian has, it admits ogres and goblins. They've got to be, they can come into the city. So, yeah, I guess what it comes down to then is it all depends upon the adventure you're running, and you got to sort it out.
And how the person's playing it, because I'm sure a lot of people have played paladins like, the Grand Inquisitor. They come into town, and they're going to root out evil and, terrify the Templars. They're going to terrify the inhabitants. And, back to what we've claimed, like these parties, who's really the evil party? When you look back, a group of adventurers go murder and pillage all these areas that done nothing wrong, quote unquote. So I would have no problem with a player playing if they, was their deity, lawful good, was the deity of vengeance and justice or whatever, holy vengeance. And they go around and basically are accusing and citing rules to and if you didn't convert, they would have no compunction to end your life. And if you were irredeemable, they certainly would have no problem with that.
So like the Crusaders.
Yeah, they're Crusaders.
Yeah.
And part of it would be to dehumanize, that's the idea with the orc, which is why people have a problem with just wanton slaughter of orcs, is that they're not human, so we can dehumanize them. But this is a game, and we want to roll dice and kill orcs, so that's why we allow that.
Well, I think they're evil. I think, right, I think more so than that, don't you think? It's that they're evil. And Gary clearly, in this article, he's taking, right, I mean, the game originally was very much, many people viewed it as a good versus evil game.
Law versus chaos, or whatever you call it. Yeah, law versus chaos.
Yeah, and law versus chaos. And you destroy chaos, and you destroy evil. And so if you get an entry, I mean, unfortunately, that parenthesis is a killer. Yeah. It's a death sentence, apparently, right? You do not want that parenthesis evil. Please, no, I'm good. I'm just neutral. Right. I don't want the parenthesis.
And they are worshippers of Grumsh, or they're worshippers of Lutheran, or they're they have a deity, they have a system. It's not just that they're evil. They are slighted by the world, aka Grumsh, and they need to extract vengeance on the demi-humans and humans. So they are not redeemable for a multitude of reasons.
Well, they were, listen, they were slighted, right? I mean, they took all the good territory and they left the orcs with, I think, the worst territory, and so they're very, if you think about orcs and gnomes, are kind of similar, right? They've both been slighted.
Right. So
an orc-gnome allegiance. Oh, there you go.
But more importantly, he settles for himself. There are areas where ADD can be absolute, places where statements can be accepted as gospel. One such is the facial hirsuteness of female dwarves. Can any good reader cite a single classical and medieval mention of one female dwarf? And he says, of course, no. The answer is no, is so simple, so obvious that the truth has been long overlooked. Knowing the intelligence of AD&D players, interesting, there can be no doubt that all will instantly grasp the revealed truth once it's presented and extol its virtue. Female dwarves are neglected not because of male chauvinism, it's because observers fail to mention them because they failed to recognize them when they saw them. How so? Because the bearded female dwarfs were mistaken for younger males, obviously. There you go.
But this is great, because that suggests, so now we need to have in one of our games a pre-gen. I'd like to play now a female dwarf who people think is a male dwarf, just a young looking. Right. So there it is. There's a role-playing opportunity. I guess a Yentl?
Right.
Was that the one where she looked
right.
like...
She just matchmaker. Make me a match.
Now the last line, I don't know. The last line was just kind of creepy to me, though. Right? What does he say?
And male dwarves are darn glad, for they love to run their fingers through the long, soft growth of a comely dwarven lass.
Make it stop. Why'd you have to read it? I know it's not.
That sounds
So,
like
right.
that has to be a pseudo-undead love. That's the ballad.
Oh God.
Comely dwarven lass, let me run your fingers through your long, soft growth. Something like that. You know, it's got to be like a
I
bad
just see this-
Poison pseudo-undead ballad where we
Yes.
jump the shark. That's going to be great.
I just see this male dwarf running his fingers through a
Well,
female dwarf's beard.
we have to do like the MTV videos back in the '80s where it has that kind of soft glow to
Yes.
it, and they're all wearing
Porcelain,
day glow pastels, and they're, you know.
Like to pour some sugar on me or whatever.
That's right.
That video. Yeah, and it's like slow motion. He's taking his fingers through,
That's right.
and then it turns out it's a
Well,
male
it's more
dwarf.
like Winger.
Okay.
It's more like a Winger song than a Def Leppard. You know, it's more headed
Yeah.
for a heartbreak or something. You know, really sappy late '80s ballad. And they all
Yeah.
had beards, and you know, Aquanet beards, because you know they actually put Aquanet and their beards are just flowing.
Oh. Yeah, I thought you meant like be like ZZ Top. Like
Oh,
these-
that's
this
good too.
You got this dwarf band. You got the four
That's
dwarfs.
right.
Or, you know,
Spandex dwarves are saying that. See, that'd be great.
everyone loves a bearded
Everyone
dwarf.
loves a sassy dwarven lass.
Bearded
A
dwarf.
comely dwarven lass. Comely dwarven lass. Yeah, that's awesome. And you know what? The rhyming is easy on that. So, you know, we can.
We'll look for that.
Lass rhymes with a lot of good things. Grass, brass,
Oh yeah.
class.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
Well,
Sass.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Right.
easy to write this.
it writes itself. All right. So yeah, so that was all right. So they do have beards. So I'm trying to remember if there was anything. I thought those were the highlight. Obviously, when Gary writes something, that's the highlight.
Fourth dimension.
So those-
describing the fourth dimension. I couldn't deal with it. It's too much. Now I was going to read this because Tom Mulvey wrote it. The 7 Magical Planets.
I skimmed it a bit, kind of using the planets.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting to kind of put them together. But you know, that's a campaign thing you could use it with. So that's kind of cool. You know, you'd have to try to work this into some of your campaign lore. So I thought that was interesting. All right. Then they go back to convention schedule. Cup of Death.
Now, just to let you know, I don't know if you noticed that somebody was looking for a ride back from Gen Con.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw that. I've reached out to who I believe is the guy on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was looking for. He was from Maryland, and he was looking for a ride back, which is interesting because he had a ride there, I guess.
Oh, wow.
But he didn't have a ride back, which is kind of strange because, like, was somebody moving to Lake Geneva and just staying? So yes, and so we'll see if I hear back from him because I'm very curious. I'm probably the only one to see how that turned out for him. So we'll see.
You know what I should have done, and I apologize. I should have done this. Here, now you can see what I'm. Do you see that?
Yes, I do. I do see. Yes, I do
I
see
should have
that.
done that.
That's okay.
Now you
no
can
worries.
see what I'm looking at. So this is the second part of Lehman's Tiny Hut. Here's where they talk about the orange dragon, the brown dragon, and the yellow dragon. And they make Tiamat and Bahamut deities, so which later editions codified. And then there's a puzzle for Lankmar. So I'm not sure. Did you read this?
I did not.
Okay, skipping it.
I did not.
Then we're flipping. Then there was some kind of story spelling out a strategy for hostile magic users. This was pretty interesting. You know,
I liked that. Because you always kind of struggle with what spells should you give to NPC magic users. What would they have? And so anything random that says, "Hey, it wasn't me. I just rolled." So I did like that. I would probably use that chart actually. So that was a chart to randomly determine the spells for evil NPC magic
right,
users.
for hostile.
Hostile, right?
Not have to
right.
be evil,
So,
but just
yeah,
hostile.
They could be good. You could be right. You could be evil.
Right.
So yes, or they're just hostile. It could be good, and they're just hostile. You've made them angry. So yeah, I thought that was a good chart. I liked that. I like stuff like that. I would probably consider using that.
So it kind of adjudicates what the spell is, likelihood, and which one he's going to cast. So it's good. I don't know. It seems like a lot of work. If you really have to be at a loss for that. More mail. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, a lot to continuing debate, if I recall correctly, over inflation. So inflation. So I guess that was the phrase at the time for characters going really, really, really high levels. So that was your word back in the day, character inflation.
Well, it was a word back in 1980. Inflation was a real thing, right? They had they were really worried about that.
Right. Got helped get Reagan elected,
among other things.
I believe.
So and it's basically, again, it's just interesting because we don't play that way. We play today where you have a group, and they work together. And everyone kind of monitors each other. So it's just so odd that they have that issue now.
Oh, yeah. Some of that was somebody wrote a letter complaining that a player had gone off in another group and came back with a bunch of magic items, right? So the concern of people playing in other groups, and you couldn't monitor it. So, yeah, now you're lucky if you can find one group, one group, let alone
Right, exactly. Then there was a... how to use technology to create a Civil War simulation. That sounds exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So you could write that. That's awesome. And then there was some game review, Freedom in the Galaxy. I don't remember that.
I don't either.
But it got a big write-up. And then now the bestiary, the Flow Light. Looks like a monster manual too.
Yeah, I was not impressed, Ryu, so I don't think I'll be using the flow light.
It sounds like something you would put in your bathroom.
That's true. The flow light, yeah. I'm trying to remember. You think it's a will-o-wisp, and it's not. And yeah, it was very Monster Manual 2-ish to me. I liked the... I tend to like I joke about the Fiend Factory, and it's quite hit and miss, but I think Fiend Factory monsters better than the monsters that you see in Dragon Magazine.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're more creative, more entertaining.
Are you able to see this okay when I'm scrolling?
I am,
okay,
yeah.
Great. All right. You can make a boxing simulation by Brian
Yeah,
Bloom.
I saw that. I played Title Bout, which is Alan Hill's game, so I don't know if I can't remember when Title Bout came in. Title Bout was a very good game, so you actually get a game. You get a boxing, and I played a lot of those games.
Really?
For baseball. Yeah, Pay Dirt, Bowl Bound, all of those tabletop sports games.
I don't even know if I knew about them at the time.
Yeah, I thought they were a lot
Maybe
of fun.
this is what we should use for the champion thing.
Pick a box, like Muhammad Ali versus Sonny Liston.
And then they have the stats for him, so there you go.
Yeah.
They could do a random roll. In this corner, this is a champion of the Scourge, Joe Louis versus Rocky Marciano, or something like that, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's probably straying a little bit. I understand it was in Dragon Man. It's probably straying a little bit from our 1E thing. Just a little. The Zora Foley monster.
Exactly. Then they've got... so they went all out on this.
They had an interview, after the mock fight.
That's just crazy.
They typed up an interview.
With Howard Cosell.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Gentlemen, if we could dispense with the verbal fisticuffs. I can't do a good Howard Cosell. That was horrible. All right. Well,
that was pretty good, actually.
All right. Well, that was Dragon 38. There's some useful things, and the main thing is that Gary bashes his own employees in public. And
no sage advice. So was she suspended?
She put in the time
was
out.
She in the doghouse?
For that?
Right? Was she? Where was Gene Wells for that? I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Her responses, they certainly didn't. They didn't get a strong reaction from me when I read them, but they did from Gary. So yeah, I don't know if she was in timeout or not. So I felt a little bad
Yeah,
for Gene Wells, in all honesty. I would be like, look, I don't want to do
that's it. I'm done
anymore. I mean, Gary comes down. I mean, he's Gary Gygax. I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh, don't read it,
Right. Oh.
please. So no, I would be more than a little gun shy if I wrote sage advice answers. Maybe that's it for her. That can't be it.
Right.
We'll find out, right?
Right.
Next month. It's like now, Lawrence
That's
Schick.
right. It's anyone. Yeah, we're gonna have to look that over. That's right. But not Gene Wells. Well, okay. Let's see. So I think this is a good. I think we talked about. Now we'll have to talk about Appendix A because people really want us to do Appendix A. So after we get through, we got some interviews coming up. Who's next session? Next time? Who are we having on?
Next time,
Skip
2 weeks
Williams.
from today,
So we
Skip
won't have time
Williams.
next time, but if we don't have an interview, I'll be happy to run it because people they want to see Pixie and Glades. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Gotta dig them out.
Gotta dig those
And I think they like Appendix A because we do the random, we're all about that.
Right. Right.
Okay,
No, that
so
sounds like
why
fun.
don't we skip the other parts because we need to start getting ready for tonight's big epic adventure. So I need a D10.
Okay. The
That's
less
right.
pointy one, right?
The
2.
The dice don't lie. That's all I have to say.
Nice. Yeah.
So Sage Advice is back next issue. Spoiler.
Okay. Who is it? Do we know who
I don't know
answers
that.
it?
They didn't write that down.
Okay. I hope it's Gene Wells. I think she's funny. I like Gene Wells.
I mean, it's almost like you said. It's almost impossible. Some of these is very nuanced. You don't get a whole lot of thing from the people who write it. They want definitive black and white answers. Can the paladin kill the orc baby? Sure. And then you could describe that 5 different ways and get different answers. So again, going back to the deity helps with that. And this is where if it's not a deity that's in deities and demigods, you make your own deities. That's where you could work with the player to flesh out the deity's traits, so that they know when they've decided to stray. I think the problem becomes is when they well, I didn't know I did anything wrong. I mean, sometimes it's pretty cut and dry. Like we had a situation in our campaign where they found an evil ring. I said it was evil, said it could be destroyed, and they go, it was late, and they're like, oh, we'll just give it to John's character, who's an evil guy. It's like, well, you're good people. That's not a good...
Right.
It's not good. And this ring is aligned with the deity that's directly opposite your deity. So, yeah, that's a problem. You're now cursed. And if you don't atone, you're going to change alignment. Well, they don't like that. Well, but they didn't fight me too much. Like, we didn't know the ring was evil. I told you the ring was evil. This is the only problem with when you get back at the end of the adventure and you have like 20 minutes left, you're trying to finish all this stuff, it's hard to wrap up that. So, like the end of our show, which I think we are ready to wrap this up. So I'm going to see you in less than 8 hours. So get some rest. I got to do some work.
Right.
Get ready for tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be on the YouTube. We're looking forward to it. I'm super excited about this. Hopefully we'll have a great game. Hopefully we won't have any technical glitches. So on behalf of Grog Talk, I'm James. And we will see you next time on Grog Talk. Take care.